back.
Hello.
We're back. Gino, you look great.
You do too, Jack. Did you do something with? Did you get a new shirt?
New shirt.
Something's
That's
going
right.
on. A little bit
When
different.
in Cannes, I feel like it almost feels like it's what I should be doing. If I'm gonna be here, and if I'm gonna get on camera, and we're gonna try and give the best advertising and marketing news content in the world back to the people at home, the least I could do is look presentable.
It's kind of giving me study abroad vibes, where you go and like you get a tattoo to remember it forever. You come back, you talk about. Do you feel like a study abroad?
It's a rebrand.
It's a rebrand.
It's a rebrand. I mean, we talked about the best rebrands of the year. You talk about the Branch Museum of Design, what they've been able to do. They're a big Cannes contender this year.
Great. The Apple redesign that won, I think, a Grand Prix in the redesign category.
I think this will get entered into next year's. You have a mustache that people may or may not see, but
you might have missed it. But yes, I did bleach my mustache. Yes, but mine was it wasn't much of a commitment as your hair.
Have you told your mother?
I've told all the no, I haven't.
Okay, me neither.
No. I hope she watches the show.
Yeah, that's what I say to people, like my family.
Yeah.
If I don't speak to them for a while, I just watch the show.
Just tune in the show.
You need to know what I'm up to. Just tune in the show. We got a great show today, Gino. Should we just go through the lineup real quick before we bring in our first guest?
Run it, Jack. You do the first half.
All right, Tejas Manohar is going to join us. This is presented by Hightouch, by the way. Shout out Hightouch. Check them out. We'll get more into that. Everything that comes with what it's like to run a business like Hightouch with Tejas here in a second. And then Kay is the head of creative lab at Spotify. Kay Sue, I believe is the pronunciation. Sue.
Okay,
Kay Sue is the head of creative at Spotify. Antoni Porowski.
Who's that?
He is an actor.
What agency does he work for?
He doesn't work for an agency. He works for himself. He's an actor. He's an author. Most known maybe for his work in Queer Eye, Gino.
Okay.
So that's going to be great. And then we'll have Simon Cook, the CEO of Cannes Lions.
That's right. I'm excited for that. We got some questions for him. What's going on here? What's really going on here?
I think it's interesting because of the fact you saw Ad Age release an article about how it was a 25% drop in submissions this year at Cannes Lions. And you think about like what's the business impact of that. We all know it costs money to submit. And so that is going to be a big thing. It's going to be interesting to see what he says about that, Gino. And then we have an indie panel that you're excited about.
Yeah, we got the indie panel, independent agency panel with Luke Mckelvey, CEO of MIRIMAR. We got Matthew Woodhams-Roberts, CCO, co-CCO at Special US. They won a Grand Prix last night.
Right.
Last night, another Grand Prix. And then also on that panel is Mary Lou Bunn, founder and CEO of Flower Shop Agency, right by where we live. So it's nice to be here in Cannes with
the neighbor. And then Susan Credle and Rich Silverstein. Can you imagine?
Susan Credle is the Lion of St. Mark winner. She is the most important person at Cannes, arguably.
That's right. So, and she gives a big speech. She's going to talk to us about that. Rich Silverstein from Goodby Silverstein Partners to end the show and to end Cannes. I can't ask for anyone better.
Yes. It's a dream.
Should we get into it?
Welcome to the Cannes finale. Let's bring in our first guest, Tejas Manohar. Welcome to the show.
How's it going?
Thanks for having me.
Tejas, it's an absolute pleasure.
I am so excited to talk with you, Tejas.
Step into the Thunderdome.
Hightouch.
It's the hot seat.
Yes.
How you feeling?
Good. Feeling warm.
Yes.
Out in Cannes.
It was like the hottest day in recorded history for all of France, like this week. Wasn't that absurd?
That is music to my ears.
We love that.
Tejas, how old are you?
I'm 26.
26. You're younger than us.
27 in a few weeks.
Oh, great.
Nice.
Is that a Gemini?
I want to say it's a Cancer.
Oh, you don't know?
Leo?
Wow.
Yeah,
you're that locked into Hightouch. You don't even know what your sign is.
Too focused.
Way too focused.
So give us the rundown for the folks that are watching this that may not know Hightouch. Like, what's the high-level view of Hightouch?
So I started Hightouch now 5-6 years ago after having just really strong conviction that the biggest brands in the world will be differentiated by everything that's made marketing what it is today: creativity, taste, culture, but that if they don't harness technology for achieving scale and precision about how they engage with their customers, then they'll fall behind. And that's exactly what we help companies do with data and AI. So we help companies be super precise at what they're sending every customer across every channel, from Facebook, Google, TikTok, Trade Desk, email, push, their app, to actually helping them achieve a scale that wasn't possible prior to AI by using AI to, scale out creative production, understand what's working, and so on and so forth.
Absolutely. What do you think for the folks that are watching this, they're working at a brand, let's say, we had CMOs on yesterday, like brands like LinkedIn, like what else do we have? Who else do we have yesterday?
Yeah, we had PepsiCo.
PepsiCo.
We had Coinbase.
Yeah.
A bunch of all different categories, all different industries.
So like what would like a CMO, how would they interact with Hightouch? Are you having those conversations with these CMOs?
100%. Yeah, this week's full of CMO meetings for us, and that's who brings a solution like Hightouch into their organization. And so one thing that's really interesting is that marketing is so different company to company, and it's such a multifaceted discipline, right? It's not like coding or legal. It's such a diverse discipline depending on what type of company you're working at. But data and AI is this membrane that affects marketing at every company and really makes it effective. So you mentioned a company like Pepsi, for example. If Pepsi is a global company and a collection of brands, to be able to produce the amount of content at a quality bar that is appropriate for every single geography, every single country out there, every single audience, every single persona, it is just infeasibly expensive without leveraging something like AI. And if you're able to really leverage agentic AI, you can not just do it on TV, but do it on all the digital media channels. Make it adapting as things are. You're learning what's performing and what's not performing. And we build tools that allow brands like the Pepsis of the world to do that using, we call it agentic marketing.
Absolutely.
For LinkedIn, it could be totally different. For them, they digitally engage their customers. They have everyone on the app already. They want to educate people about LinkedIn Learning, LinkedIn Recruiting, the job network, all the, I heard they recently launched games into the mobile app.
Of course.
And so
Our employees are not allowed to play the games though.
Yeah.
I heard they're really addicting.
Well, the thing is, it sends you a notification when someone does a game. It's crazy.
Oh,
and so
could
it's
you
like, all
imagine?
right, so this person just isn't working right now.
yeah, I don't know if I'd play the games for that reason, but they as a company would want to know what's the right next product for each of their customers to use, analyze all the massive amounts of data they have from how people are engaging with the app to the roles they have, and send the right targeted marketing to every customer. So Pepsi and LinkedIn, totally different, but by using data and AI, achieve incredible marketing outcomes.
Yeah, so it sounds like, I mean, you kind of are taking care of a lot of the things to allow them and free them up to think really creatively about the ways that they go about working or acquiring customers or introducing new products and things like that, which I think is like, this is the whole tension around like what the creative industry, where it's heading, and how AI fits into all of it. And I think in the beginning, it's like there's this new shiny thing that's AI, and everyone's kind of figuring out how it works best for their brand or at their ad agency or whatever. So what have you seen as like the most efficient or the most successful ways that brands are using AI for the marketing function?
100%. So I think one big misconception that I've seen about AI usage in marketing is a lot of companies feel like they're not ready to use AI externally in their marketing or internally in their marketing. Because AI is not ready for a brand of their caliber or their quality or their prestige. In reality, I think it's a spectrum. AI is not ready for every use case, but in every organization, AI is ready for some use cases. So as an example, one of our customers is a large luxury jewelry company. And that's an industry that you wouldn't expect AI to be used in the creative for. Because just think about it, right? It's a high-end product. It's a very cultural moment when someone buys something like an engagement ring, for example. And so what they've done though is they don't use AI on their high-quality production ads that they're running on TV or their long-form videos. They don't generate images of people and things that don't feel authentic to who they are as a brand. But when they're using digital channels, because e-commerce is absolutely growing, even in things like the luxury ring space. It's really effective to upload massive product catalogs to Facebook and Google and TikTok and let them retarget customers with the right product they were looking at. And that they use AI to generate the creative for that and to evolve it based on the season and the locale and everything.
Man, I'll be honest, like that's just stuff that I wouldn't want to have to work on like endlessly.
Exactly.
All those the expansion of those like the placements all over these channels. Like for a creative agency, like where I come from, it's like we want to focus on the big platform ideas, the big thinking. That then you can disseminate those executions of smaller down the funnel. You know what? That kind of makes sense.
You know what is like interesting? You hear like this. Because like AI is able to do that right now, and like Hightouch is able to do that, there's this weird tension, like existential crisis about it, where it's like, well, what work is the human gonna do if we're not cranking out 7,000 different little like versions of this thing? And it's like I think that feels so short-sighted to me, because it just means there's more opportunity to do bigger creative things that require more skills and are more valuable. And honestly, as a human like doing it, you could charge more for, because you're saving money on some of the smaller, the more nitty-gritty things that AI can do it just as good of a job with. Is that something that like you're hearing? Like, how do you feel about that tension?
Yeah, I think there's a huge question right now that a lot of marketing leaders have, which is like, oh, what's the future of agencies and stuff like that in AI? I think agencies are here to stay, if not anything, grow and become more effective for brands. Because if you think about, why companies hire agencies, it's that sort of creativity, taste, perspective, strategy, and it's that infused into the execution. And even when you think about a technology like AI, it's helpful for achieving scale and for achieving capacity and for getting to all those things that you weren't able to do before. But it's only effective if it's well directed.
Yeah.
It's an instrument. And it's especially an instrument in the world of creativity where there's no objective right or wrong. Right? AI is trained on patterns and recognition. And so I think human taste is actually more important than ever. And creativity is more important than ever in this world. And now it's about using AI to, create content that's more personalized, to each customer at a higher skill than before, into each channel, and matches all the aspect ratios and all the not fun stuff for emails and for ads and everything. But then also to use data and AI in concert to actually deliver that to the right customer on the right channel. And so the whole platform, Hightouch's agentic marketing platform, is built on a CDP. So built on a complete knowledge of all the data in your company, everything your customers are doing, how your channels are performing.
It's a refreshing thing to hear, because of the fact that I think that there's a lot of, especially in like the marketing creative world, there's a lot of AI companies that were just doing an awful job of communicating and speaking to those creative professionals.
Exactly.
You see all the billboards like in San Francisco and
Silicon Valley. Oh my gosh,
and it's like it's not the same thing, but like hire this AI to replace your sales team.
Yeah,
it's like, and it's
our sales team is growing faster after AI. Actually, most of our marketing is in person. It's human. You use AI to scale, showing people that you're doing human things on the internet. Right. If you came to the Cannes airport this week, we kind of bought out the airport, right?
I took a picture.
I was so excited. We were like delirious, got in at 8 a.m. over red eye, and we're like, oh, it's Hightouch.
Build an ad before baggage claim finishes.
So,
I messed up the wording clearly, but
it's Cannes right now. It's gonna be 2 years from now. We're gonna be sitting here again, maybe somewhere even cooler in Cannes. What is Cannes going to look like in 2 years from now? What are people gonna be talking about? What are agencies gonna be looking like in 2 years from now?
Yeah. Well, what are people talking about right now at Cannes, in your opinion?
Oh my goodness. I think it's creators right now. I think that's, we've been kind of like over here, but creators and IRL experiences is like the two hot things that I can recall right now.
Yeah, I think 75% of Cannes in a couple years from now will continue to be talking about what's culturally relevant. What are people talking about, right? I think right now creators is a really big thing. I think right now every CMO is figuring out, in the world of AI, how do they make the brand more authentic, more in person? And then I think there will be a 25% of Cannes that's the kind of ad tech conversations around how do we scale that? How do we reach more people across all these channels? How, this week, one of the hot topics of Cannes is the offer we made to Publicis to buy a portion of the assets from LiveRamp for up to 1.2 billion. And so there'll be a 25% of Cannes which is talking about, ad tech and how do we expand reach across all the channels? How do we understand what's performing in our marketing better? But I think 75% of what the discussion here will be really about the creativity side and culture, and that's what will make great brands.
I love it.
And then my last question before we let you go, can we talk about that? Why'd you guys do that? Why'd you guys make the offer for LiveRamp? Like, help us understand it.
Yeah, so Hightouch kind of has two sides of its business. I probably should have explained right at the get-go. The data side, and then to increase the precision and the reach of your marketing, and to the agentic marketing side, which is around how do you actually increase the capacity of a marketing team to create more emails, create more ads, create more content across every channel. And so in the data business, one of our top use cases at Hightouch is outside of just CDP, customer data platform, is data onboarding.
Okay.
So helping companies run targeted ads on Google's and Facebook's and the New York Times and Roku's and Disney's, and there's more news there this week. But and the technology is a lot of the brands use today for this LiveRamp is a little bit outdated.
Yeah.
It charges a percentage of your media spend as if it's kind of the only solution on the market. It charges, it's you have to use it a very manual way. It takes 12 to 48 hours to onboard new data to the solution. And so with the acquisition by Publicis, I think the whole market's thinking about this is the foundation of how we reach customers on digital channels. It's the foundation of how we measure our marketing. It's the foundation of identity. And Publicis is a great company. They're doing really well actually right now, but no one, people want a neutral player in this market.
That's the whole thing. It's like, is it going to be neutral anymore?
Exactly. And so we think there is an opportunity to take our technology a little bit more modern and maybe bring it to all the customers of LiveRamp who are now looking for a neutral alternative. And so it's really that head start they have on go-to-market, sales, partnerships over 10 years that we haven't been in business for those 10 years before, that we're super interested in leveraging. And that's why we kind of partnered up to see if we could strike that agreement. But
I love it.
Well,
keep us updated. Let us know.
Yeah.
Let us
Tejas,
know.
well, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you to Hightouch for
Thanks so
sponsoring
much.
this episode as well.
Thanks for
Absolute
inviting
legend.
us.
So we'll have you walk off here.
Awesome.
And producer legend will help you take you off stage. But that was Tejas Manohar, Gino.
Fantastic.
Absolute legend. Young legend.
Be on the lookout. I was at a dinner with a VP at a very large company and said, Hightouch is the future. This company is maybe the biggest company in the world.
Interesting.
Like, you can figure that out from
figure
there.
that out.
I think I'm not going to disclose
I
who
can
said
say
that.
Breaking and entering media is who Gino was referring
Should I
to.
go sunglasses on or off?
I don't know.
I feel like it's impersonal. Oh, whatever.
Ali says on.
Okay.
Well, we have our next guest joining us now. It's Kay. Correct me if the pronunciation is wrong, Kay. I always feel terrible about this. Kay Sue? Kay Sue. Absolutely. Welcome to the show. The head of the creative lab at Spotify.
I hear that there was some bleaching done, and I feel like I fit in with you guys.
Yeah.
I heard, not that it doesn't match, that the mustache was just bleached, and I heard the tips were as well.
Yeah. What do you think?
Amazing. I feel like we match, and that's the only thing that counts.
That's all that matters.
That's
It's the
all
aesthetic.
that matters.
Look, Gino's actually right.
Yeah.
I want to start off the show, if it's okay.
Yeah.
I want to say that I've been on Spotify since 2011.
Wow. Almost the 20 years. That matches our anniversary, which is this year.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I know nobody can believe it, but it's 20 years.
20 years.
It wasn't available into the US, I believe, until 2010. Is
That's
this
right.
correct?
Yeah.
So it was like 1 year off.
Yeah.
What got you in? What got you in right away? I'm doing a little bit.
No.
A little bit of
Yeah,
research here.
No.
Let's make it about me.
Well, I mean,
There was like this guy that was, I was like nervous about college. He was kind of like an influencer early on, talking about like college stuff, and he was like loved Spotify early on, so he was an influencer.
Wow.
You know? Do you remember who it was?
Yes, Thomas Frank is the guy's name. I'm not sure what he's
Just
up
some
to
random-
today.
Thomas
Yeah.
Frank, thank you.
Yeah.
Were you just like on? Where were you getting influenced? Like Instagram?
I was like Google searching. Like I'm always been a well prepared guy. Like I want to be ready for college. So I was just like Google searching.
How to be cool?
How to?
Good.
How are you?
I'm good. You guys actually look a lot cooler than I feel at this current moment. There's no sweat on your faces. You feel,
Oh really? I feel
Yeah.
soggy.
Yeah, there's a dampening, but I think you just, you know, we try our best. We're used to it now. We've been out here all day, last couple of days, and we got the camp finale right now, and we got Kay. You're kind of like a legend.
I am.
I feel like you are kind of a legend.
Well, thank you.
What
I
does it
don't.
mean? What does it mean to be the head of creative lab at Spotify for those that aren't familiar?
Well, we help again brands, agencies do their storytelling on our platform. That's really what it is.
Okay.
Some people might say it's in-house agency, but it's a little bit different because we work with agencies. And again, the agencies are the people that really own and champion the work. We're there to help like inspire, teach people how to do it, get them connected with the right teams internally, get them connected with, again, the right creators and artists, right content. Like that's our job.
Well, all right, let's go through a little bit of an exercise here then.
Oh no,
Let's
okay,
say- all
because it's
right.
hot. What
Let's
kind of
say
exercise?
Breaking and entering
Yeah.
You know, we come into Spotify, we've got so much money.
Yeah.
We got so much money.
Yeah.
Budget is not an issue.
Yes.
Yeah. We
I
wanna
love
come in-
this.
Yeah, yeah. So how would you engage with us? Let's say we have no idea. We like know our audience. We know what we want to do generally. But like, what are some like the creative ways? Because
Yeah.
it might not be as apparent from the outside.
Yeah, so for me, I definitely do not think about formats at all. I think about fandom and fan experiences. The cool thing about you guys being a podcast is that podcast is one of the ways that you can engage as a brand. There's obviously audio, which is the heart and soul of DNA.
Yeah.
Having said that, we have a lot of video. A lot of people, again, spending a lot of, there's been an increase in, in-view usage. There's video podcasting seems to be a thing.
Yeah.
You guys might know that. Not sure if you do. Of course, we can have music, podcasts, we have experiential, we have brand sponsorships. So if you're going to give me all your money, we can do all of it. But of course, yes, as a creative, it is always starting with the brief. What are you trying to do? And then again, if you have an agency, like how can we work with them to collaborate?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have an agency background? What's your background?
I did. I have an agency background. I also worked at other platforms, and I've also worked at brands. So I kind of have done all three things: agency, and then platform on the ad side, and then at our brand running digital creative at Clinique, and then back to a platform, which is very exciting. So I have seen it from all sides of the spectrum. The challenges people have, because if you're a creative, especially at a brand, you have to develop so much creative. Like every day you're thinking about above the line, below the line. What does that mean? Social media, all the different permutations, all the different contexts to it. You got to get a filter. You got to do this. You got to do that. And yeah, so I kind of understand it from how complex it is. Understand from the agency side how complex it is to work with with brands and also clients and all their needs as well. And then I understand from a platform like what we can do to help.
So I think it's interesting that like the platform, it has an in-house creative team for clients that come in.
That's for brands that come in. But
Yeah,
you
brands
also
that
work with artists. Like if they want to tap your services, could you do that?
Yeah, we certainly can. Again, our primary focus is really, again, like on brands and how they can support the creator ecosystem. And I think, again, we come from it more that lens, but certainly, again, creators are becoming brands and becoming media agencies. So absolutely. So if you guys want to give me all of your dollars,
Yeah.
I am here.
Happy to.
Why-
You can have
I'm
all
here.
17 of them.
Like,
Okay.
Why
Million?
Why do brands want to spend on Spotify over other platforms? Like what's the most obvious thing that maybe people don't know?
I mean, it is time well spent on our platform. We are not social media. We're not like other platforms in that way. When people come, they really want to spend time with us. It's about depth and intention. You come, you're not doom scrolling. We're kind of an antidote to that. We know that a lot of people that spend time on social media actually turn that sound on and turn the sound on with us. Sorry, they turn the sound off on that to turn the sound on us. Right? You're coming, you feel good, you are experiencing your own fandom. So I'm gonna take an artist because again, our heart is really in music, or at least our DNA, and we've expanded to so much more. But you can come in loving an artist. I'm gonna take John Summit, who was on our beach yesterday.
Shout
We've
out.
done a ton of stuff with them and LinkedIn. And you love John Summit, you'll go in. Actually want to know about John Summit. I can scroll down, learn about the artist. I want to learn about who produced it, music DNA. I could look for merch. I could start to look for tickets. Like the way that you want to expand, amazing. And then guess what? There's podcasts on maybe, again, John Summit's like personal life that I want to get into. I want to know what he's up to. And then let's say he has an autobiography. Guess what? I want to read it. So there's all these ways that you can sort of experience fandom in some way of something you love. And again, we're talking a little bit about music, but you could do that certainly with movies. You can do that certainly with any topic area. If you like Star Wars, listen, you can listen to, a soundtrack on Star Wars. People are making collaborative playlists on Star Wars, tons of podcasts on it. Yeah. So we really just like approach it from like why people come, and it's fandom, and they feel good when you're getting involved with stuff that you love.
I got a personal video sent to me, like on my Spotify Wrapped, which we can get into. But yeah, like the artist, I think it was Bleachers, was like, "Hey, like thanks for having us as your number one listen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
Gino has
There you go.
Spotify Wrapped as one of the great marketing.
it's on my marketing like best of all time series.
Ah,
Like it's on my
thank
list.
you. Thank
Best
you.
Of the
marketing
21st
that-
century.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, of all
thank you.
time. Yeah,
Of all
yeah,
time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is
Well,
Isn't that
thank
big?
you.
Isn't that big?
yeah.
Yeah, that's huge.
Is there anything that people don't know about what goes into like making Spotify Wrapped that you want to review?
Well, I'm not part of the team that does that. That's
Ah,
probably
damn
on
it.
the other time. But what I will say is the expectation every year goes higher and higher because
Yep.
people expect a lot, and our team works so hard to make
Is
sure.
there a
That's over.
dedicated team that's always working on it on the clock year round?
Basically, I mean, they do more than that, obviously, but it does, again, we do a lot of thinking, we put a lot of thought and time and design into it.
Yes.
So again, it is a full company effort.
Mhm.
And again, it's something that we all lean into.
Yeah, it's great.
You've worked with artists then, if like brand comes in, there's an
Mhm.
artist collaboration. Is it fair to say you've worked with a lot of artists?
Yeah, in some way. Again, we work with brands the way that they want to work because every brand has a different sonic identity or they might have different ambassadors. And again, we work and try to flex to that. If they do have it, very easy for us, again, to lean in that route. And then some brands will come to us and ask us, to recommend certain, like, again, artists or creators. And in creators, we think a lot about them as podcasters as well. So we do a lot of recommendations around that too.
So between the artists, creators, podcasters, folks like us, like who comes top of mind that you've worked with? Like, this person understands marketing better than most CMOs I've ever met.
You know what? I actually think that John Summit, again, that's just by mistake that we're talking about this, but genuinely, we recently did something with John Summit and LinkedIn.
Right.
Excellent job. He was just sort of like the perfect person for the job. The campaign was from CPA to DJ for LinkedIn, and it was there to really inspire, I think, young generations to explore their passion. Like today's the day when people are feeling pretty sad, about the job market or the prospects of it. There's a lot of doom and gloom about the future. And he's really there to inspire people, like find your journey and find your path. It makes so much sense from LinkedIn. His story is so inspirational. We did, again, a lot of storytelling, both on video and audio. And then we had a surprise pop-up, happy hour rave where he,
I did see this
yeah,
at an office, at the LinkedIn office.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, not at the LinkedIn office,
Oh.
at Halo.
Oh,
It was
okay.
awesome. And it's for his, like, all his favorite fans. And again, like, what an inspiring journey that he's had. And again, that's like one that we're really proud of. We're really happy of. And he was on our beach, and hopefully, again, we're celebrating together.
That's what's up. Did you get to be behind his DJ booth, like
Yeah.
like with people?
No,
Where you were? Okay.
no,
fair.
unfortunately,
No, hey,
no,
no worries.
no. I think very little people are allowed.
I want to ask about like, what does it take to really manufacture that fandom? Every brand
Yeah.
wants it.
Yeah,
Every brand is
Yeah.
looking for the way to get
Yeah.
people to love their product
Yeah.
and love their brand. And yet,
Yeah.
most, if not like 95%, fail.
yeah.
So what is that separates
Yeah.
the 5% of brands that people actually love and the 95% that people don't?
Well, it's even the way that you phrase that question would be like, that's what a challenge. You can't manufacture it. I think that is the truth. And there's a second truth, but there's a couple of exceptions, and I'll talk about the exception in a second. I think that you cannot manufacture it, and people, normal people, us included, people do not root for brands the way they root for people. I really genuinely don't believe it. I think that they have to root for something that they collectively coalesce around. Like, again, when I think a lot about like where young people are at, they don't trust institutions as more. Again, there's a lot of things that are happening in the world. They want to feel like they're part of something, right? And part of a fandom is being a part of something with its own dynamic values, with its own culture, its own language, the own way of articulating itself. And so when you think about fandom in that lens, not all brands naturally fit there. But if I was a brand trying to get into it, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can actually reflect it, so whatever's happening there, and make it make sense for your audience. I think another way is by amplifying it, so again, making something larger, or co-creating it, which is again giving some experience or co-creating experience that's really meaningful for fandom. I think the thing that is really important is that fandom and fans are not the same as target audiences, right? Because again, it's very much
this
own
Do you
thing.
think that like what you just said right there?
Yeah.
Fandom and fans is not the same as target audience.
Yes.
Do you think that that's a mistake that happens though? Because like
Yes.
I if you said that to me, I would say, oh yeah, a fan of your brand, but it's your target audience. You're trying to
Yes.
make them a fan.
Yes.
So continue that though, because I thought that was
Yeah.
really interesting.
Well, I just think that, okay, just like you guys have a legion of fans, right?
Right.
but they're not a target audience. They have their own way of talking. You have your inside joke. There's even, again, in most fandoms, there's hierarchy, right? There's the top fan, like in the Swiftie culture, you have the super fan, which is the top fan that dictates everything, and so on and so forth. And that happens again in a lot of big artist fandom. There's a lot of culture, vernacular, and sort of inside nuances to how they interact with each other, their get-togethers, etc. It is, again, like it's just a different thing altogether. Even the language you speak and how you speak about things are completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think that's what makes it different. It is about a passion point. It's not about you. So I think as a brand, you have to enter that so gently because you're not trying to extract. You're trying to underwrite and support in most cases if you don't have permission to play
And just be a
in that
part
space.
and almost just be like,
Yes.
be around.
Like,
have
or
that association.
support. Yes, because
Yeah.
we also know that young kids, again, not, everybody doesn't have a lot of money to spend. We know what music and live music, especially in today where everybody's trying to, disconnect from digital. People love it when brands sponsor artists and also genres that people love and live experiences that people love. So learn to be a part of that while you develop a way, again, to interact and co-create experiences that are meaningful to them. And the one exception I did say, because there are some brands that genuinely have fans, I would definitely say that Gap has sort of turned it around. Like seeing people
using music,
waiting around the line. I did a little chat with Fabi Torres, CMO of Gap yesterday, and EJ, of course, K-pop team Manhunters, and she told me behind in the green room that EJ said, she has like wearing her Gap sweatshirt with cat's eye every day, and that she actually went to the Coachella activation just to, again, make sure she would get some Gap swag. Like that is like true fandom. And also there's something different about fandom is it grows and lives even beyond the canon things itself. Again, if taking another example, I don't know why I'm going to Star Wars so much. I don't know why, because it's not like I'm an okay Star Wars fan, but the movie kind of ended a long time ago. It doesn't mean the fandom does.
Right.
Again, there's something very interesting about that it can come and go and live in different spaces.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is very different. And that's why I was like, do not think about it. If you think about it just a target audience to just talk to, which again, a lot of brands are now talking about fandom and platforms are, but I think they are using it as just a replacement for the way for target audience. And like, you think about it that simply without really trying to understand the audience and the passion point, dead in the water. They'll be just like, dude.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah. You're weird. I don't want to spend time with you.
Get out of the comments. Getting in the comments.
People when I harass someone to hang out with me, it pushes them away.
Exactly.
It pushes them away. And
exactly.
Kay, shut up. Kay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
I could not appreciate both of how much we match from the bleach.
Oh yeah.
Okay, stay cool. Thank you.
Today's live show at Cannes is presented by Hightouch. If you work in marketing or advertising, you probably already know the problem. The internet never stops asking for more creative. Meta wants more ads, TikTok wants more ads. Every platform rewards fresh content, and the second your creative gets overexposed, performance starts to drop and costs start to climb. That's where Hightouch Ad Studio comes in. Their platform helps brands and agencies spot creative fatigue before campaigns start wasting money. Then it uses performance data, cultural trends, competitor activity, and brand assets to generate hundreds of new concepts that are actually on brand from the very first draft. This allows creative ad agencies to focus on the big stuff, while this product helps scale the lower funnel. It's not AI slop either. Hightouch connects directly to things like your brand guidelines, asset libraries, and approved copy, so marketers can create, edit, and launch new static and video ads without losing control of quality or compliance. And the coolest part is that agencies are already using it on behalf of their clients. If you've ever felt like you're on an endless treadmill of content production, Hightouch is building the tools to help marketers keep up without sacrificing creativity. Check them out at hightouch.com. You're not gonna regret it. All right, our next guest is here. This is a good one here. Antoni Porowski, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you guys? I heard there's a photo.
I've got a photo with you already.
Let's start off the
I was walking
interview.
around New York City. I knew that we were going to be interviewing you, so I took that photo.
I'm honored.
If you see it, that's me and Antoni from a couple weeks ago.
I'd like to say I'm usually wearing more clothes, but if you look at my Instagram feed, you would know that's a lie. So yeah.
Antoni, you're a legend. You're an absolute legend. It was a pleasure to have already seen you, and now it's great to see you in real life.
Pasted on a wall. Yeah.
Exactly. How is the can been? How's the experience? What are you doing here?
Okay. This is year 2.
Okay.
Nice.
I came here with my agent staff. Well, let's just fist
Come
bump.
on
Let's
now.
like all of
Come
us
on now.
together here. We came here last year for 2 days, and for the first 3 hours, I had a panic attack, severe social anxiety.
For sure.
My introverted self kicked in, and I was like, "Get me the hell out of here." And then I went to a Barry's boot camp pop up at 7 o'clock in the morning for vanity, of course, and wellness. And as I was leaving, 3 girls who worked at different agencies came up to me and they were like, "I worked with you on this. You need to meet this person." And then before I knew it, I had the entire day stacked with meetings and generals and go-sees to just like talk about what I'm working on. And I was like, "Oh, I get it. We're putting our
Yes.
like capitalist creative hat on, and we're here to
Bingo.
like make." I know connections is the word that's so overused here, but it really is what it
Capitalist
is.
creative connections.
Capitalist
Oh,
creative
triple C.
connections.
It's
Can we get a
triple C.
T-shirt?
Would you like to? Would you? If we could trademark that, a T-shirt
Oh.
would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I would love that. Me and
Okay.
you. Come on.
Before we continue, also, I need to know, because I bumped into someone today and she told me that I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, how did you get here from the airport to Nice?
Oh, Anthony, I'm so glad that you asked.
Yeah.
We got in a helicopter. We were in a helicopter.
Aren't they terrifying?
Oh,
So,
yeah.
How many times have you been in a helicopter?
A few times too many.
And
Yeah.
you're
Really?
just you're.
They
just
take
freaking
off
out.
vertically. It doesn't make any sense.
it
It
doesn't make
defies
any
the laws of.
sense. Yeah.
We barely know how airplanes work.
This is something every time. So everyone asks me. They ask the question like, if you drop someone from 100 years ago
Yeah.
onto Earth right now, what would be the thing that freaked them out the most? I think the most obvious answer is airplanes. If you saw, look at. if you
I would
just-
say airplanes in my TikTok algorithm, but yeah,
Yeah.
other than that, definitely those 2 things.
What is
Or
your
Baja
TikTok?
Blast.
Yeah, Baja Blast.
Oh God.
What's
I
your
mean,
TikTok algo these days?
It's definitely unique. I mean, I have a lot of clips from Love on the Spectrum because it's part of my entire identity right now. Because I'm so obsessed with that show and it's
sure,
restored my
yeah.
faith in love and humanity. But I have women in Namibia cooking for villages of 90 with goats running around. I have like slaughtering and taking apart animals, and I have a lot of village cooking long form videos that I'm really fascinated by because I don't really understand what they're putting in sometimes. And then I see the videos that I'm trying to distinguish between AI and then the ones who are just being ridiculous and dumping Rotel and processed shit into a pan and calling it a meal. They're just like looking for
the
that
dips,
bait.
the dip- yeah, they know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, you're
It's a
just
freaking
asking
joke.
for stomach issues.
And
But
you have,
anyway,
you have a new show, which kind of makes sense because the travel on your algorithm of that type of content. Like you have a new show coming up, right?
yeah,
On
so
Nat
it
Geo?
actually came out last week.
Nice.
And I don't like to look at things, but I heard it's performing really well on Hulu, which is really exciting. So it's a Nat Geo
Congrats.
show. Thanks.
It's amazing.
So it's called Best of the World. It's basically existing IP from Nat Geo. And I basically go and I tell human stories of all the amazing things we get to experience when we travel, from high end to low end and everything in between and the wild cards. And it's like the human stories.
So,
yeah. Go ahead,
follow-up
Gino.
question, just naturally while we have you, who
Yeah.
would be one person you would cook a meal for, dead or alive?
One person I would cook a meal for,
Please say me. Please say me. Please say
dead or alive. I like to go with dead because I'm a tiny bit cryptic. I saw a beautiful photo of Alain Delon, who's like an iconic, maybe most objectively handsome. He's like the male version of Bella Hadid. I saw a poster of him in Cannes from the 70s, or maybe Harrison Ford.
Ooh.
Because I saw that photo of him at Hotel du Cap and I was channeling him with the short little boy shorts.
Okay,
today.
I was gonna. So yesterday, everyone in the chat and the live stream chat was being really mean to me, and
Why?
because of my
Because you
legs.
bleach your hair? Oh.
There we
It
go.
looks good. I have photos of me in it too. I support it.
I my legs are very pasty,
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
kind of mogging
He's
me
got
right
much
now.
better
with
legs.
your
So you're
tan legs.
protecting your skin against like
Thank you.
UV rays?
That's right.
So
That's-
you're
it's those-
engaging in health and wellness and they're trolling
you.
you for it? Come for
Yeah,
them.
tell it to them. They're
Or at least
being
get you
mean.
some nice SpawnCon for like a nice SPF 50 from
Anthony,
like Biotherm or
that's
something.
that's the creative capitalist connection that I want to hear more
That's
of.
right.
The SpawnCon.
Let's go.
AP. Is it okay if I call you AP?
I love it.
AP.
I really like that.
Okay,
A few
sick.
people call me that, but I appreciate it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So last year you were here for the first time. You made some connections. What do you got? What's the triple C, Jack?
Creative capitalist connection. Anthony, AP he'll know.
Greatest capitalist connection, obviously, Gino. Come on.
Wake
I'm
up,
with
buddy.
it. What's the goal for this year? What are those triple C's you want to make?
I mean, it's sort of a twofer. I feel like it's kind of like bifurcated into figuring out sort of the relationship that I have with Nat Geo, developing more content together. They're working on a best of the world book and sort of like finding good partners on that front. So representing them to the best of my abilities. And the panels that I've been doing, especially a lot of them today and earlier on in the week, is sort of like the journey of working with brands, ad agencies, the types of projects that I go for. And I think the thing that people seem to get really excited about is repeat customers, the brands that keep coming back and renewing, and why are they doing that?
Yes.
And who are the ones who are great to work with? Not by name, but in terms of like their ethos and how they kind of operate. And it's like a fun journey to kind of go down and explore.
And like, what do you think, like, when brands look at you and like getting attached to you, what are they getting out of that?
I mean, when I was on Queer Eye, so that was the show that kind of got me here that put me on this map of sorts. It was the food lane, because we all had 5 verticals. So I was typically CPG, a tiny bit of fashion, and mostly anything food experience related, meal delivery systems, that kind of stuff. With No Taste Like Home, it was the human story, but taking a celebrity to their country of origin, traveling through the lens of Nat Geo, more premium, more objective storytelling. So it opened me up to traveling, opening up hotels, the Ritz-Carlton yacht collection, all that kind of stuff, airlines. And now with Best of the World, it's opened up even more because we have all these categories of like hospitality and experiences and stuff.
It's really smart. I mean, it makes a lot of sense too. How about like, it can be really easy. I think I would fall victim to, if I was able to, like you say, get on the map for brands. I would do every single brand at every given moment, back to back to back to back.
You would say yes to everything out of here. Your 15 minutes are going to run out.
Correct.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that?
That was me for the first 2 to 3 years, but thankfully I did not go down that path. I don't have a manager. Both of them are right here. Lovely agents, Carly Fromm and Stephanie Pachulo at CAA, they kind of have taken on the manager hat because I refuse to give another 10%. And they're honest with me. They bring me every single opportunity, big, small, everything in between, and we have a conversation about it.
Right.
I know what I want to do. I know that I'm a workhorse, but they also understand strategy. They've been in the industry a lot longer than I have, and I trust them. I have a lot of faults, but where I'm good is asking for help.
Yeah, that's great. What's like another thing that the agent, like the management side, you're asking for help, you find the right partners. Is there anything else in your life that you feel like, you're good at with asking for help with?
So content creation itself has been a journey, because at first I was just so grateful to have incoming deals. And for the first time in my life, I wasn't an actor sending out my headshot, begging casting directors to cast me as waiter number 3 or Polish terrorist number 5, because I speak French and Polish.
Were you at one point playing
I've done both of those things. That's why, direct quotes, very specific, but for a reason.
Thank
you. I was a really good Polish terrorist. But kind of their role and where wait, what was the question?
Yeah, I don't know. Where like you started, you're maybe not as good at content creation.
With content creation. Yeah. And it's like, I'm good at what I'm good at. I can turn it on. And if I'm obsessed with something, if a brand comes up to me and I have that personal story, that little hook that I can kind of like personify and know how to execute on, I'm great. But I need a good writer. I need somebody who's able to video it correctly. And sometimes that could be really low frills and like very like raw and rugged and scrappy. Other times you want a little more premium and buttoned up. And so we've started asking for things in deals where it's sort of like, can you give us a budget for a videographer? I just did a deal that is going to be coming out in a couple of weeks that might be one of the most proudest things I've done. And they got SNL writers to write a skit on the conversation about, there's this moment where people are criticizing meal delivery people, specifically men, for not knowing how to grocery shop. And so they were like, what if you went in as American Psycho meets Antoni from Queer Eye, like the sweet, endearing, avocado-loving self who loves corgis, and you teach these men with your passion, screaming, putting on costumes, teaching them how to be better grocery store shoppers.
So excited to see that.
And the brand was trepidatious. Apparently it took them a year or 2 to actually get approval for it, but we showed up on set. We did the thing. All the brand people were in Video Village, not unlike with the situation you have going on behind the cameras. And everyone's doing their best. We all have fans, don't we? It's good. Right. You're all crushing it.
That's right.
And they basically shot the content the way that they wanted to. And then the director was like, what do you want to do? And so I did a few words. And then we took those takes, and the raw footage that I've been seeing so far, they actually ended up leaning into the stuff that was a little more me. Because there's always going to be brand speak. They want to put the hashtag at the beginning of I understand that, but at the same time, you have to do the whole Virgil Abloh thing of like the 5% tweak to make it you, because people can smell a rat. I think consumers are inherently smart, and they know. And Queer Eye taught me to be organic and real in myself in all its forms. And so that's kind of become like the baseline for everything that I do.
Yeah, you gotta stay true.
At least I try.
Yeah, no, I think you do a great job, and that's why it works. It's almost like a long-term play.
Right, exactly.
If you're thinking like the long term, you will be better off if you don't succumb to like the early pressures that come with like a short term.
They know sometimes. I've also said no to things 5 times, and then they came back with a number where I was like, you know what? Got to keep the lights on. So let's go and
There you
figure
go.
this
Hey,
out.
well, negotiation.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, thanks for saying yes to us and coming on.
Of course.
Did you
Thanks for
see-
having
can
me.
Do you have a comment on Gino's mustache because he bleached that?
I'm really into it. I'm just jealous because I'm not capable of growing facial hair to that
I see the
extent.
framework there.
No, but it's a little bit of like Pirates of the Caribbean vibe going on. It's
Oh.
patchy. It's a little. It's not.
Little
It's
Johnny
not the
Depp
best.
action.
A little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't grow
People
any
like
facial
that.
hair either, and that's another thing that they make fun of me for online.
Maybe there's a product out there that we can figure out that can have you grow
Triple
facial
C,
hair, you know what I
triple
mean?
C,
Triple C.
Me and you, if you have your agents, maybe you could be. Would you be interested? Maybe you be my agent.
I would do this.
Okay.
Interesting.
This villa is like
He's
pretty
getting the thumbs
chic.
up. He's getting the thumbs
You
up.
film here every day of the year, right? You're always here, like you live here.
Of course.
Oh no, wait, you don't?
No.
Oh, got it.
You
Oh,
can't
got
lie,
it.
Jack.
Oh,
You
got
can't
it.
lie.
Oh wait,
Let's be
maybe.
honest. Let's
Just
be
you
honest.
tell me. You tell me. Whatever you need me to do, I can do.
Also with the hair, so that it doesn't turn yellow, unless you want to go for
Purple.
that punk scrappy vibe. Purple shampoo, shimmering lights. I think it's like $5.
Okay.
I was taught at like when I did that you can get it to that little like Bieber-esque platinum blondie type.
Oh,
vibe
that's
when
all I
you wanna-
want.
when you want to play around with
I
that.
want. Hey, what's it? Purple,
It's called shimmering lights.
shimmering
Yeah,
lights.
they're not paying me to say that yet.
yet.
Nice.
Me and you,
we
dog,
go.
me and you.
Personal. Let's go.
Anthony, thank you so much for joining the show.
This is it?
Yeah,
We
don't-
barely
moved
scratched the
quick.
surface.
I know.
Do you want it? Do you want to come back?
What
You
about
come
my
back.
top list of
Recurring
50
guest.
brands that I want to work with? No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding, I'm
no, we
kidding.
put that in the comments.
Okay, great. Lovely, lovely.
If you
Okay.
just send us a list, we'll actually, when we put out a clip of this, we'll
Yeah.
just have on the side like a Star Wars-esque list of all of your top 50 brands you want to work with.
Part of the reason why I'm working with Nat Geo as much as I love him, and it's the only piece of literature that I read voluntarily when I was a kid other than The Little Prince, is because I want to get closer to the Star Wars universe, and I either want to be an Ewok or I want to be an extra on Andor, because it is arguably the best spin-off ever of the Star Wars universe. I know she touched on it with Spotify, but it allows you to enter the psychology of these characters.
Yeah.
Nostalgia is so important for millennials who are looking back and saying, I can finally wear bootcut jeans again.
That's right.
And Gen Z, who don't understand
Yep.
the references and they think that they're inventing something new, but there's
Yep.
an intersectionality there. And they touched on it on Gap and Banana Republic too. I've had a lot of espresso and Coke Zero here.
That is Anthony Porowski.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm fired up. You're the
You guys are awesome. Nice.
Yeah,
You guys
thanks.
are awesome.
Appreciate you,
crushed
and
it.
thanks again for taking the time.
Of course.
You're a legend. You're a legend.
Platform rewards fresh content, and the second your creative gets overexposed, performance starts to drop and costs start to climb. That's where Hightouch Ad Studio comes in. Their platform helps brands and agencies spot creative fatigue before campaigns start wasting money. Then it uses performance data, cultural trends, competitor activity, and brand assets to generate hundreds of new concepts that are actually on brand from the very first draft. This allows creative ad agencies to focus on the big stuff, while this product helps scale the lower funnel. It's not AI slop either. Hightouch connects directly to things like your brand guidelines, asset libraries, and approved copy, so marketers can create, edit, and launch new static and video ads without losing control of quality or compliance. And the coolest part is that agencies are already using it on behalf of their clients. If you've ever felt like you're on an endless treadmill of content production, Hightouch is building the tools to help marketers keep up without sacrificing creativity. Check them out at hightouch.com. You're not gonna regret it.
All right, quick shout out to Main Character for helping us get Antoni Porowski. Main Character, go check them out. They're amazing folks here. But Simon Cook is our next guest. How's it going, Simon?
Hello, sir. How are
Nice
you?
to meet you.
Simon.
Yeah,
How's
good
it-
to
how are
see
you?
He's the
Thank
CEO
you.
of Lions. He's running the show here.
Love what you've done with the place.
Thank you.
Same to you.
This will be a good conversation. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. Yeah, it's been an intense week, but a very valuable one.
Absolutely.
Lots of great conversations happening across the city. Lots of great work winning. So yeah, good to be here, man.
For the folks at home that don't know, what is the role of the CEO of Lions throughout this week?
I guess it's making sure the thing runs as smoothly as possible, but also making sure that we are celebrating the work, because this is how this thing all started.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess giving marketers and brands the intelligence, the ammunition that they need to continue to invest in creative marketing that really matters.
Absolutely.
So that's a big part of it.
Yeah, and I guess like it's there's of course like always the commentary, what's happening at Cannes. People
Yeah.
back home want to know. They give their takes. It's all about like the takes. Everyone like wants to like talk about what's happening. And obviously the festival and like the whole experience has changed over the years and it's evolved.
Yeah.
And I think we stand on the side of like it's a positive. Like we always think optimistically about the way the industry is moving forward. But how do you grapple and how does Lions grapple with, you have such a bigger brand presence and tech presence, which lifts everything up because it means there's more money, there's more opportunities, but it creates more noise compared to obviously the original intention is all about creativity and celebrating the awards. So how do you all grapple with that? Because I imagine it can put you in a tough spot.
No, I think, do you know what? Our philosophy is around honoring the past, but embracing the future in equal measure. So we think there's room for everyone to play. It's a really rich ecosystem that we have here now. And we've always firmly believed that creativity can come from anywhere. So I think the fact that people are coming together and colliding here makes for more interesting conversations. And I should say, our biggest priority is making sure that the benchmark for creativity is upheld, and that's what I spent most of my time doing this week. Right. It's actually nice to step away and come up here for a second.
We'd love to have you. We love having you here. I mean, that's what I nerd out about is the work that wins the Grand Prix, the Gold Lions. We talked to Fernando Machado yesterday, who I believe has around 200 lions.
He's picked up a few,
And that to me is like what I love, but then also meeting the different people. I guess really no question right there, but what would you want to say to the folks at home, like is the most underrated thing that should be talked about more and more at this festival?
That's a great question.
Nice.
I think
it.
There's so much happening here. It can be overwhelming, but there are connections being made all the time, which is obviously good for business. I think one thing that people probably aren't aware of, which I find particularly exciting, is the school that we have here, the campus, where we have young marketers, young creatives coming together to learn the craft of our discipline. And hopefully, we're giving them a space to be the future leaders of tomorrow. We've got some jurors and jury presidents this year, for example, who started their path as a young lion or a young lion competitor. So that's a big part of what we do that perhaps doesn't get as much attention or the headlines.
Of helping out the next generation, the school how does the school work just at a high level? Like, are they taking classes here? Is it throughout the whole year? Is it online? And do they meet up and they get awarded here? What happens?
Yeah, there's academies and courses that take place at the festival. Some people participate throughout the year remotely. So this becomes a bit of a graduation moment for them.
Nice.
Their kind of final module, if you like. But then also, we've had something running for 30 years, the Young Lions competition.
Yep.
That's 10,000 competitors globally competing at a local level. And then we have a couple of hundred winners who come here to compete on a global level. And if they win, then, that tends to catapult their career and put them on a new
When do those winners come out?
tomorrow. So we announce them on a Friday. And then, within a few months, hopefully they'll be in great jobs.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of them have gone to be CCOs and just
Some have ended up being jury presidents.
Love that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Love that.
I think that's great. And speaking of the work and like what's won so far this week, anything stand out to you? Any surprises might not be the right word, but like any things that have stuck out in terms of who has been winning or what kind of work has been winning this week?
Yeah, I think we're seeing a lot of humor in the work, which I think is very positive. We're also seeing lots of ideas that are rooted in human centricity. I wouldn't say it's in backlash to technology or AI, because we're also seeing lots of work where that's coming together in really interesting ways. But craft-led work that maybe gives you a glimpse behind the scenes into why something was made or how it was made. That emphasis on craft is coming true, and the human centricity piece, as I said.
Absolutely.
Well, it's interesting you say that because yesterday we spoke with Catford and CMO at Coinbase, and they won, I believe, a Grand Prix for their work for Your Way Out, where it kind of looks like a video game kind of thing, but it's all real. And she was explaining that they didn't really anticipate this or plan for it, but they released the behind the scenes video of them making it, and it almost gave them this double boost with social media and like the impact that it had, which I thought was super interesting, where you're seeing this trend of like the making of the work is the work
Yeah.
in some cases because of your ability to just post it online and it could catch fire organically. And it just
Exactly.
becomes a bigger part of the story.
And we saw that with the Apple piece as well, the rebrand.
Yeah, the glass.
Like I think the behind the scenes piece actually got more hits and views than the actual work itself, which is, as you said, gives it another bite of the cherry.
You think that's gonna last? I don't think it's gonna last. I think that bubble that of
Right.
like showing how it's made like is so hot right now. I don't know if that's gonna forever be a part of
Oh,
it.
you think it's a trend? It's
I think so. I think because we're in such a transition from AI or like we're grappling with AI in this industry. Human luxury is so important right now. I just can't see that continuing. Like the BTS being the reason why it's so like a big reason why it's so good.
I think it just ends up being like it's downstream of if consumers get more accustomed to seeing AI on their feeds or less, or if they continue this resistance. It's like kind of like
Right.
there's a lot of pushback by consumers because they're noticing it.
Yeah.
But it's like, will they care as much is what will ultimately define it, I think.
Yeah, it's maybe more of an inflection point.
Yeah.
Which we'll see melt away. Because I think the work coming through where you're not even aware of how human creativity and AI have come together will become the norm. It will become invisible.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
It is just interesting, and like it makes the case. I think that over the last year, probably maybe further back, but so much almost hysteria around everything's going to be AI. Like there's going to be no like creatives anymore. Like advertising's not going to exist. What do you respond when people see it sometimes online, the doom and gloom, or like calling for like the death of the advertising agency?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. You only have to look back through history to see how many times you can find the title that is similar to "Advertising is Dead."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a natural part of our evolution, but we've seen so many profound new introductions of either technology or data, and I think very quickly it will become just a part of the ecosystem. And we look forward to seeing the kind of work that starts to come through, perhaps when this trend around the making of comes to a close.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I want to ask if that's okay, Jack.
Yep.
Probably our last question here of timing. We saw just completely 180 here as well. We saw this year less submissions.
Yeah.
Jack has the exact stat because he's
I don't have the exact stat. I don't have the exact stat, but I think somewhere around like 25%.
25%. Yeah.
Yeah, and that there's a real business impact with that. Obviously, submissions cost money, and so you think about so you all have made a conscious decision to probably create a higher barrier, to create more integrity around the submissions and more thoroughness. And so, can we talk about that? Can we hear about like what went into that decision? Why do it? And why do you think it makes sense, and how it's affected Cannes Lions?
Yeah, I think the 25% decrease we sort of planned for. We anticipated that through all the disruption that was happening in the industry, combined with the deliberate friction we'd put in place by introducing the integrity standards, was necessary.
Mm-hmm.
I think after last year, we took the decision that nothing about this festival is more important than the benchmark itself.
Sure.
So if we can't protect that and its integrity, that has to be our biggest priority. So that's why we were willing to do it and willing to stand by it.
Yeah. I think everybody's on board. All
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I mean, reaction. If one of us looks like a douche, like that's going to be a cost. Maybe why not?
Oh,
But
like when you
need
introduce anything new, painful, but it's a hopefully one-off pain that then people see the benefit from.
Well,
I think everybody applauds that effort.
It's
Thank
like
you.
a premium to pay to be in something that you're insured. There's a benchmark.
Yeah.
And so you think about like what is the value of winning a Cannes Lion? If you think about it that way, it's like it makes a lot of sense.
Oh my gosh!
And
If we would have won one this year,
we submitted.
we submitted. Don't
We
do
did.
it. Oh,
We
yeah.
did. We
Which
did.
category?
You would have heard about it if we would have won. Trust me. It would have been game over.
That would have
We
been
would've
the
most
entire
annoying. We would have been the most
Insufferable.
Yes.
content creators in the world.
On LinkedIn, humbled and honored, I would have posted 85
I
consecutive
mean, we
days.
bleached our hair for no reason.
Yeah,
Can you imagine what we have done if
I
we
need to
won?
tell you, one of our juries, when they were awarding, they adopted one of your mantras.
What was it?
So before they did the final vote, they would chant, "Can it win?"
Oh, who did that?
I'll tell you after.
Yeah,
Can it win?
that's so
We've been
funny.
pretty good. We've been pretty money on our predictions too.
You been on the money?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
yeah,
nice.
Yeah, you know, I don't
Yeah,
know.
all right.
What taste
All
you
right.
have?
Yeah, I don't know. Gino's going a little bit too.
Periodic Fable. We called
Yeah.
that one.
Okay. And you had Nils on, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Nils on.
Congrats, Nils.
Congrats, Nils. Well, Simon, thank you so much for
Simon,
joining
Oh,
us.
pleasure. Thanks for
It was
having me.
great to chat.
Thanks for
Appreciate-
having us at the festival.
No, of course.
Appreciate
Anytime.
you.
Bigger
Awesome.
and better next year.
Rock and roll.
Thanks.
Rock
We'll
and
take
roll.
the mic from
Take
you.
care.
Today's live show at Cannes is presented by Hightouch. If you work in marketing or advertising, you probably already know the problem. The internet never stops asking for more creative. Meta wants more ads, TikTok wants more ads. Every platform rewards fresh content, and the second your creative gets overexposed, performance starts to drop and costs start to climb. That's where Hightouch Ad Studio comes in. Their platform helps brands and agencies spot creative fatigue before campaigns start wasting money. Then it uses performance data, cultural trends, competitor activity, and brand assets to generate hundreds of new concepts that are actually on brand from the very first draft. This allows creative ad agencies to focus on the big stuff, while this product helps scale the lower funnel. It's not AI slop either. Hightouch connects directly to things like your brand guidelines, asset libraries, and approved copy, so marketers can create, edit, and launch new static and video ads without losing control of quality or compliance. And the coolest part is that agencies are already using it on behalf of their clients. If you've ever felt like you're on an endless treadmill of content production, Hightouch is building the tools to help marketers keep up without sacrificing creativity. Check them out at hightouch.com. You're not gonna regret it.
All right, we're back. Gino, this is an exciting one. What do we got?
We have the independent agency panel here. Luke Mckelvey, CEO of MIRIMAR, Matthew Woodhams-Roberts, CCO of Special, and Mary Lou Bunn, founder and CEO of Flower Shop. Welcome.
How are we feeling? What a week. What a week, obviously. How are you all feeling? We'll start here.
The week been for you?
It's been good. It's been hot. It's been really hot, which is probably the least.
Hottest day ever in France history.
No, but it's been good. It's been fun to see it. We were just talking in the back. We've seen so many more young creators here this year, which has brought, I think, the age. Used to be a boondoggle for very senior people to come to south of France, but now it's nice to see so many young creators and put a bit of energy back into it. So that's been a good thing to see.
It's great. Mary Lou, your thoughts on the week so far?
It's been great. I think this is the hottest place in the world right now, this country of France. But if you're going to be hot, this is a great place to do it. I think I totally agree. It doesn't feel so senior, doesn't feel so. It's not a bad thing that it's not senior industry specific. You're seeing all kinds of influences and conversations. It's great.
And Matthew, last night.
Big
time, I believe Grand Prix.
Grand Prix for media and a gold for direct for the Footballs for Food Uber Eats work for Build Your Own Super Bowl. It's pretty exciting.
How are you feeling at this exact moment physically?
Sweaty and excited.
Yeah, great. That's fantastic. That's awesome, Gino.
Okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
What is, and we'll probably just go with one person for this question, whoever's most passionate about it. Like, what is the main conversation at Cannes that you guys have been hearing throughout the week? Who's confident about this one?
I'll go. I think the obvious main conversation is AI, which I would like to not talk about at all.
Sure.
But I
Has
think,
anything changed in that conversation?
well, I think there is. I think what we're seeing right now is this split between everyone who's, and it's not a bad thing or a good thing, but people are kind of going faster, more content, pushing out more efficiencies. There's a lot of great work coming out that way, whether you're an influencer, whether you're building films. And then I think opposite of that, it's actually pushing towards a whole human crafted side, more craft put into it, more attention to detail, almost slower work. And so kind of this moment of two lines of work. And I think that is all based off of this conversation of AI, trying not to get caught up in what we've all talked about probably too much with AI.
Yeah.
But these
you
two
do a little
sides.
6'7"?
Yeah,
You
two
do-
sides.
There it is. There it is.
I would want to be on the slower side personally, if that is true. Like, I want to be on, like, take your time, create something good, not have to worry.
Yeah,
This is like the biggest. This
That's
is
just
the biggest
me.
thing
That's
right
just
now.
me.
and especially having the indie agency leaders here, it's always like everyone says indie fast, like big holding company slow. And it's like it feels like it might be a little bit more complicated than that.
I'm talking about like the craft
Yeah.
going into work. There's
Okay.
fast content made, and then there's content that you're really kind of going deep on, pushing further, applying craft in all the different ways. And sometimes that takes a little bit of time. That's crafting the jokes, it's crafting the film look, it's making it more beautiful. And just there's not a good side or a bad side to that. It's just it does feel like kind of two lines of work. The AI maybe is just defining a bit of a separation.
And then I'm curious then for Mary or Luke, like what are you seeing from the independent agency presence here at Cannes this week, this year?
I think a lot of us are here, which is amazing. I think, a lot of us look forward to small agency because it's such a, it's almost like seeing family again, but to see, you kind of see them, you see people out and about that are doing the same types of things with the same ambitions you do. And it's nice to kind of see them, recognize them, and you still have that feeling, that bonded feeling, which I love.
Yeah, and I think if you think about like the impact on the work, you see the scale, right? You see the scale of the networks in the tents on the beach and all of the amount of people that they can have here. But then when you look at the work, that doesn't show up, right? Like the indies, you look at who's got in Grand Prix, the special guys have done well, Isle of Any has done well. Like the quality of work, in our opinion, comes out of building such tight relationships with your client that not always, but more often exists with independents, because you can just dedicate more time and there's fewer layers, that you're able to get to that level of work and to the slower pieces because everyone's bought into the ambition. And so I think it's great when you come to like, what should be the ultimate benchmark, that indies, regardless of size, are like creatively doing the best work in the world. And that's sort of great to see.
We just talked with someone, we talked with a CMO, and she told us on the live show that she was going out to find an agency to work with for their next big global campaign.
What was the name?
They chose another independent agency, but she said when she went into the process, she said, I'm only going to work with an independent agency. And I thought it was super interesting because it was like the first time where someone like, whoa, like kind of said it out loud.
Yeah.
And like really put a line in the sand. So I'm curious, like when you have your conversations with clients and brands that you're potentially working with, do you sense more of that where they're actually like seeing there's a difference in feel when you're working with indie versus non-indie?
Yeah. I mean, I agree with everything Luke said. It's about that intimacy that you get with a small agency. You're able to work together, because the best work is when you're able to build something with your clients. The clients are right there in the creative process.
Yep.
You're moving faster to getting to those ideas. They can champion it more. Everyone's on the same page. You're solving business together.
Yep.
And I think that's really what you get with when
It's a
you're
day-to-day
not in the
collaboration.
bureaucracy of something bigger.
So what does that look like for like Flower Shop? In your best agency relationships, you said day to day. Like, is it really you're feeling like it's that close?
I think the biggest shift for me is going from a place where you're part of a big organization, so you're trying to come together to present something to a client that you're 85 or 90% sure they're going to buy, as opposed to being willing to take risks, showing clients work that isn't fully baked yet, that's not as safe, and not being afraid to be shut down because there may be something in there.
Yeah.
And I think well, certainly for our experience, is if you've got brand and business alignment, which is what you can get when you work with companies that want to work with independents, you can have those conversations because the whole group is smaller. You get brand and business aligned, then you pour the creativity on top of that, you really move the needle. Whereas in those big networks, they're often for big holding group companies as well. And it's harder to get the level of dialogue and the alignment you need. And so I think it's the environment you're able to create that gets to the best work.
I feel like we've spoken with Jonathan Mildenhall. I think he's such a great example, like at Rocket, of someone who has dedicated so much energy and purpose into aligning not just the agency he's working with at Miramar, but also the organization, and having everyone on the same page, and you just move at a different. It feels like you're almost speaking a different language.
Yeah,
when you have that.
And I'll borrow his language, right? He says if you're that aligned, a brand act is a business act, and a business act is a brand act. So it's not off to the side. You're not bringing work that they're not going to buy into. Everyone's on the same page, and your energy and your efforts going into really moving the needle for them. So I think that's the goal.
Another random question, but like, do you think that that's evolved in the industry over the years, where it's become more like clients are looking for more of that day to day because of, like there's a million different potential media moments a week. So do you think it's changed, or do you think it just looks different, but the core fundamentals probably are the same?
I think business to brand is definitely more integrated. Brands are under pressure every single day. So our job is really to help them solve whatever pressures they are facing that day, not just to give them a creative presentation. It's sort of like taking advantage of moments in culture and also dealing with headwinds that come along. And that is a day-to-day proposition. It doesn't come down necessarily to a tentpole campaign that you're presenting every 3 weeks.
Yeah, well said. I agree with that.
Yeah. I do think, also, I mean, some brands are structured in a way that is too big to be able to function that fast and be that intimate. But when we are making, I mean, Georgie Jeffries at Uber has been right in everything with us. She's on stage getting the award with us. And it is that sort of that partnership that when you can find it is great.
Yeah. And there's so much, like to the point about has it changed over time? Right. There's so much great talent that's gone inside brands now, right? That it's a very different shape to what the industry used to be 10, 15 years ago. So you have to have a model, if you're going to be successful with an independent, that captures what's available inside of the brands and then does the things that they can't and shouldn't do themselves and really add the value. But I think it used to be, we'll give you everything and you guys go off into a dark room and solve it. And it's just so much more integrated now. There's great people on both sides.
Right.
I think it leads to more interesting work too.
Agreed.
If you know the business needs and you're really truly solving those, you're going to take some twists and turns and pivots that you never would have come up with. And if you are creatively confident enough, it's going to lead to more interesting work.
Like you almost have like with the in-house creative conversation. Yeah. You almost have like an ally in your corner. It's like that creative team, if the ad agency is the weirdo crew off to the side, at least there's someone also in-house that's also probably a little bit of like a weirdo crew that can go to bat with them.
Yeah, and they're great. Like they're so good and they add value the whole way through. It's not a sort of us versus them thing, which is super important.
Right.
I had a fun question.
Let's do it.
Well, you guys are doing a great job, by the way.
Yours was fun too.
Thanks.
Mine's super fun though.
Thanks, man. That's a problem.
If $10 million went into your agency bank account overnight tomorrow, what would be the first thing your agency would fund?
That is a tough question.
I'm trying to think, what would I
we would do an open bar.
Party. Productivity goes down, fun goes up.
We would burn through that.
Do we have to pick one thing? I just would spread it out.
Spread it out. That's the answer.
The first thing you would fund, I guess. Interpret that as you would as a.
I mean, mine's boring, but probably expansion. We're looking to get a bigger footprint, whether that goes to Europe or elsewhere. But that takes a while to obviously get going. So probably expansion.
That's interesting because we've had the conversation about scale and connection, and like there is a risk obviously when you scale too fast. But like that's interesting to see where you're at. Why do you want to open up? Like, why would that be the?
I think it's not just scale. It's not just big is bad. I think it's really about how the culture you're able to create and making sure that modern CMOs seem to want fewer people and distance between them and the senior leaders that are helping shape the work. So it's about cultivating that with good people. And I think you can do that
of course.
At a not a huge scale. It gets a lot harder, but I think you can certainly do that in multiple places if you're very intentional about world-class creative and strategic people on our side and making sure that's the culture that's built in.
Where would you want to go?
Ibiza, Mallorca. No, probably.
Huge markets.
All those big expanding markets.
I pressed you pretty hard.
Huge media markets.
I'm gonna go total fantasy, which is weird because I'm the business person in this. I would do a travel fund. I would send people to different parts of the world for like a month. Kind of taking it a step further, we do our best work when we're together physically. Because if we're thinking globally, we're trying to make, find more connectivity. I think where people should be out having different experiences, living the way other cultures live.
Wow. Like, would you send like one or two at a time? Because they're all at once, work virtually?
One or two at a time.
Okay.
Residency, and then you come back and you say what you learned.
Love that.
Oh heck yeah!
I love that.
I'm gonna invest in a $10 million cloning machine because
Who are you cloning?
well, I think
have
we
to
have
pick
a
one person.
really great, diverse team of incredible people that if we could just take those best people and bloop, 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 yeah,
It's just a couple.
Yeah,
That'd
because
be
you
great.
can't just hire. You can't just say you're going to hire a bunch of
no, it is so. We hire very slowly. And
Yeah.
it's the hardest thing we deal with because you don't want to expand too fast.
Right.
You are looking for people who are going to be part of the family, who are going to work in a way. You know, you need interesting people with different ideas coming in, but the kind of core belief of like everyone chasing that same piece of creative to make it great, it's really hard to find those great people. And I think, not to say I want just identical people, clone them, but to be able to more easily get to scale that's done carefully.
Yeah.
Cloning machine might help. I
Yeah,
don't know.
sure.
It brings up an interesting point around like the conversation with bringing in junior creative talent. There's kind of like a tension where, because of like all the things that the tech and software can solve for, it's like you don't necessarily need as many people at an agency to do great work with clients. But I wonder, like, how do you all think? Because I think all three of your agencies do a great job of nurturing junior creative talent. So I want to hear like why do it? Because if a brand like they want to work with the senior leaders, you know, I'm obviously saying this, you know, tongue in cheek, but like why even need a junior creative bullpen or a junior creative talent?
Oh, I mean, it is just fresh ideas. It is that fresh thinking. They can learn all the things that you need to learn about refining ideas into simple places. Find that sort of storytelling that can be taught, but having the passion, the energy, I mean, everything that youth does bring to the table in these interesting cultural tidbits that I apparently am not that cool anymore. That helps too. But it is an industry. It's getting harder and harder to be able to invest in the next generation. And I think that is overwhelmingly like one of the biggest industry problems we have.
Anything else to add?
I know. I totally agree. I think it is really hard. Like the way things are set up don't necessarily foster. So you've got to be very intentional about choosing to do it. I think. I mean, I speak for us. We try and do like really culturally sort of insightful work for a lot of our clients, and they come to us for that. And there's no way we can do that without them. You know, they're so important in that process. And so, for sure, they want to work with brands, want to work with senior leaders, but I think that's just making sure you're able to set up that relationship and make sure it's handled and in a stewardship in the right way. But I think a lot of the creative, for sure, our team is crucial in that, and young people are crucial. But I agree, it's harder to invest in them because of the way they're
You can't do the wide net that I remember when I was young. Agencies would hire 10, 20 junior creatives, cast a big net, 2 of them work out, everyone else is gone.
Yes. So
that's almost impossible these days.
Yeah. So that's interesting to hear because it's like there's less, maybe it's harder to get those junior creative positions. But if you think about what it was like, you know, you're talking about casting wide net and like who actually works out.
Yep.
It's just like a different setup, but it almost feels like you're kind of, it's the same but different in some ways.
Yeah, I would say it's harder if you think you might want to try it. Like,
Sure.
it's a world where you really need to want to be here. And you have to be willing to learn and to listen. I do think that exchange is crucial to this future of the industry. It's, you know, the sort of emerging sense of culture that we need as seniors, but it's also the training that happens.
Yep.
When you understand how many versions it takes to make something great. And kind of, you know, I think especially for our generation of creatives, learning iteratively and being able to learn how to meet a standard that is greater than you ever thought possible, that's the exchange.
Right. And it's like, because eventually like those juniors need to be able to learn how to steward those relationships. And you only learn that probably by being around senior leaders. And the people that are doing it, being a part of those meetings, just sitting in on it, hearing how people communicate with each other. It's such a different game.
Totally.
It's a totally different game.
And what to fight for and what to understand is a business problem versus a creative opportunity. Like that judgment, I think, is what we need to give them and bring to them and show them in exchange for their energy and their commitment and their youthfulness, you know.
That's right.
You know, I was going to say, if you were breaking into the industry today, would you be looking at independent agencies? Would you be looking at the large holding company owned ones, the mid-sized indies? Like how would you navigate? Would you go
there might be a little bit
leading
of bias.
question. Yeah, I mean,
Let's do a debate.
All right, so
I'll
Gino
counter it.
Gino
Who you
probably
on?
has a good side for going bigger.
Yeah,
But
we'll see. Let's go.
Bigger agencies have formalized their internship programs. They've formalized their sort of education a lot more, I would say.
They do a good job.
You get to get right in there as a junior at a smaller agency. You get to work side by side. You get to kind of hear, like at Flower Shop, everybody hears everything that happens. You don't get, it's not a matter of
Same
whether
with
you're
us.
going to get invited
Yeah.
to the meeting, like you're going to hear it regardless. So it's
Good.
proximity versus kind of more formal training where you might advance in a way that's easily tracked.
I- you go.
No, go ahead.
I would just say the biggest thing for us is the narrowness of what seems to exist in big holding companies. You get to do one thing and you can get pretty good at that thing, but there's a kind of almost a blinkers on the opportunities where I think independents, you're just exposed to more. You're part of the upfront strategy conversations. You're part of the concepting, and then you're helping make and shape the work. So some people that suits, people that have that entrepreneurial spirit and they want to hustle and make things, that seems to suit, independence seems to suit them just at a personality level. And then other people that might want to go much deeper into a single trait, I think there is great training that comes out of those network shops for sure. I do think those junior positions, though, are more easily replaced by people inside of brands at the moment. So got to be, that's a watch out.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I've worked at small, I've worked at big. There's something to learn everywhere. I think as long as you're chasing great creative, you're going to get it out of either size shop. I do think that there is something. I started in a smaller place. There was some real luck of being in a pocket of creativity where you got to see people who were passionately throwing their hearts and everything into it. And I think that at a young age, that finding that inspiration, that passion, and that drive to chase the creative was really important. But it exists in the bigger agencies too, and there is a lot to learn about as well.
I like that we only talk to people that chase creativity, because it's weird because there's a lot of people don't. Like, there's a lot of agencies out there, a lot of like types of brands out there that just kind of punt on fourth down. And like, it's just so nice that we talk. Jack, talk to you. We only talk to people that care about this stuff.
Well, and I think it's also when people, because like juniors, undergrad students, they ask all the time. They ask that question that Gino just asked all the time about like, where should I go? Where would you go? And I think the answer for me is always like, go somewhere that's actively growing. Like, I think that there's something about being
That's a great
somewhere,
one.
being somewhere that there's new creative, growing in the sense of like creativity, growing in the sense of like there's ambition, and you're moving forward and you're doing things that are in a growing capacity. And I think that to me is always super interesting, because you can working at places that are actively like not really growing.
It's not a great feeling.
I don't imagine there's a lot of like learning really happening. It's more like surviving. So I think that I don't know, that to me is always reassuring to see.
Yeah, it's good advice.
Thank you.
Good advice.
Did you guys see that Gino bleached his mustache?
I
did.
did.
Of course.
I did.
I did.
Both of
It's
you
been
were
throwing me off all day, but
dabbling.
this,
Both dabbling in
yeah.
I like it.
I
It looks good. Stay strong.
You know me. I get insecure.
Like,
You always know that about me.
Yeah.
it's a good look.
Do you ever get insecure when you're pitching an idea?
Against a big, massive holding company.
No, I'm not going that way. I just
But
in
the indie
pitching
panel,
an
I'm
idea.
trying to give them.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, right.
do we
Little
just do a
overboard.
timeout? Do you do a
Yeah, what are you
timeout?
talking about? Over
We'll
there?
talk about
I can barely
Seems
hear
like we were
you.
going off the rails.
Yeah.
Last question.
Yeah,
alert.
last question.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask about like maybe like nerves around like pitching an idea that you think is kind of crazy or wacky, and you're not like, of course you work hand in hand with the client, but there's always gonna be moments where you're like, are they really gonna like this or not? And how do you deal with all that, all those nerves maybe?
I think the crazier the idea, if you truly believe in it, those are the easiest ones to pitch. Like, I think you actually, because you know that it feels special and it's gonna kind of wow them. I'm not scared of somebody hating it because it's too different. And so I think you can just I actually find it easier to believe in.
Yeah. Interesting. Anything to add there? I don't know.
I mean, I'm like the MC. I would say my partner Al does the creative. He'll go like the other way. Like if he could take his shirt off before like going in, he just like to sort of I think beat back any potential nerves in a crazy idea. He'll go totally the opposite.
Interesting.
Which I respect.
I think you got to have a culture where like that stuff is celebrated. And so we're very big on making sure people feel confident. And then if it's a single person that believes in the idea and it's like, it's a point of view or it's a perspective, someone comes along and sometimes says, I know this problem, like I've dealt with it. Let me tell you about it. And it's such clear problem solution and they believe in it so much. Then I think when it's like that, you're like, you got to back it and you're all in.
Right. Yeah. It takes some trust. It takes a little bit of trust.
Take some trust.
I also think you have to trust that you, your team, everyone that's a part of it is going to have an even better idea behind it. And so it's okay. Like, you got something to back it up.
That's it.
Because you're not going to get it right every time.
No.
You are going to hit a no. And you need to be able to kind of change things, work with it, or beat it.
Yeah.
I think also recognize that there's something in there that made you present it in the first place.
Yeah.
So even if the thinking around it is maybe wrong or wild, there's some nugget in there that's worthwhile.
You know what? And it's a good client test. It's a really good client test. If you say, hey, we've got a bunch of ideas that are on brand and on strategy, and we really believe in them, but we've got this other idea that might be a little crazy, but we really believe in it and we want to bring it to you. The appetite for that is a pretty good test of like the type of dynamic and trust there is as well.
Yeah. If that gets them more excited.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they all say that that's what they want.
They'll say that's what they want.
Yes.
Yeah.
At some point, they have to prove it.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely fantastic time talking with you all, and appreciate you taking the time. This was the Indie Panel Breaking and Entering live show with the best of the best: Luke Mckelvey, Matthew Woodhams-Roberts, and Mary Lou Bunn. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Today's live show at Cannes is presented by Hightouch. If you work in marketing or advertising, you probably already know the problem. The internet never stops asking for more creative. Meta wants more ads, TikTok wants more ads. Every platform rewards fresh content, and the second your creative gets overexposed, performance starts to drop and costs start to climb. That's where Hightouch Ad Studio comes in. Their platform helps brands and agencies spot creative fatigue before campaigns start wasting money. Then it uses performance data, cultural trends, competitor activity, and brand assets to generate hundreds of new concepts that are actually on brand from the very first draft. This allows creative ad agencies to focus on the big stuff, while this product helps scale the lower funnel. It's not AI slop either. Hightouch connects directly to things like your brand guidelines, asset libraries, and approved copy, so marketers can create, edit, and launch new static and video ads without losing control of quality or compliance. And the coolest part is that agencies are already using it on behalf of their clients. If you've ever felt like you're on an endless treadmill of content production, Hightouch is building the tools to help marketers keep up without sacrificing creativity. Check them out at hightouch.com. You're not gonna regret it.
The Indie Panel was fantastic, Gino. What a crew. Always a great chat. And we're going to keep the show rolling. We have a very special guest.
Our next guest here is the Lion of St. Mark winner. That is like the most important person at this festival. Everybody that's important is at this festival, and we have the most important person at the festival. It's Susan Credle.
Susan, please join the show.
Hello,
It's
Susan.
fantastic. Here, so you will just, you'll sit there. I don't know what, that's not us. How's it going?
It's going well. I heard this is the hot seat, literally.
Yeah, sorry.
Hold on.
The way the sun works is something that we're just getting used to.
How are we feeling? Good?
Feeling good. How
All
are
right,
you
hey,
feeling?
Sorry,
Warm.
and eye contact. Sort of eye contact.
Yes.
Okay. Y'all got some
ah.
amazing people up here.
Thank you. Thank you for being a part of it, too.
Yeah.
How you liking Colin's house?
I love
You
Colin's
love him.
house. Well, I love Brian.
Yeah, you two are
Brian and I
besties.
go way back. Hey, Brian.
here we
Hey.
go.
You want some rosé?
Oh, here's Brian
Well,
Collins right here.
my rosé glass is a little empty.
Let's get the line of St. Mark some rosé, please. Please. It's amazing to have you here, and for you, what does this week mean to you? Obviously, it's a massive week for you, but of course, we've chatted before. I feel like you're very humble, you're very modest, but I want to allow you the opportunity to speak to how much this means to you and how important it is.
Well, it's interesting. So Brian and I got to be really close on the Quest set with him telling me he doesn't like it so much, and I'm telling him it's very important. And I think he figured out how to be a part of all of this in his own Brian way. I'm a big believer in what I was looking at is that there are two sides to can now.
Say more of that.
Cheers.
He's gonna say more.
There it is.
But there's one side of can that is, all the tech and all the, panels and all that. And then there's that other side that's go look at the work.
Right.
And it's okay if you're here for one or the other, as long as you're here for one or the other. And I would recommend you be here for both. But it's still so important. I get so inspired when I've been to the Palais every night to watch the shows. And even though that's, I'm not going up on stage and I'm whatever, it's joyful. It's so exciting.
It gives you a little bit of, and I feel like it's a great opportunity to reflect on all the creative work that's come out, right? Like you get to kind of see it all in one place. Is there anything for you? You kind of have like a amazing bird's eye view, and you also have had so much success with creativity in this industry. What's the work that stands out to you right now, whether it's a trend or a theme or a specific work? Feel free to take that as you will.
What do you think is going to win the titanium, too?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not going to even get near that.
Oh, why?
Because I've been busy. And I don't want to be like, oh, if she hadn't said that, we would have won.
Okay.
That. But I.
For sure.
Look, when they called me about Lion of St. Mark, it was interesting because somebody said, as they were starting to write things, they were like, so how many lions have you won? And I said, I think 2. I don't know, maybe 5. I don't know, because I stopped taking my name off credits like 20 years ago, 15 years ago.
You mean you started taking your name off
I don't put my name on credits.
Yeah.
Wow,
I
why?
didn't, because I didn't want anyone to say she had nothing to do with that idea. I didn't
Sure.
want to spend any mental energy going, did I help that idea? Did I not? And I thought, you know what? Let's just take that out of my head. And then there have been a few times where I was like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And then I'm sitting here, so maybe it was okay. Maybe it was a good decision.
Wow.
That's really interesting. I don't know.
Interesting.
Is that common? I don't really know like the dynamics of like credits and all that.
Oh, that's
like,
a whole different
yeah,
ballgame.
the whole. But like when it comes to like the CCO level, it's like was there a
I
reason?
just didn't want to think about it, and I've never been seduced by winning awards. I'm not interested in that. No offense, I love it when people win awards, but the kind of work I want to make, the first work I ever made never won any awards, and that was the M&M's characters.
Yeah.
And I learned a valuable lesson that I was dreaming in a different way that wouldn't be validated necessarily by winning an award, but it would be validated over a quarter of a century.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that's kind of cooler.
Yeah. So then,
That is way
and you think about like legacy. I think about the way like legacy.
sure.
You think about like impact and legacy, and it's like, how many careers did Susan Credle kickstart, or like how many more opportunities did you create because of the work that you helped champion, you helped make and created? And so I think that people don't really think about, awards matter, but I think about
they're
the
an important part, but they're just one part. And like I tell everybody starting agencies or in agencies, don't just define the work as good because it won an award. There's so many different ways that you can go, that is the kind of work we should be doing. That's the kind of work we should be doing. And awards are a kind of work we should be doing, but it shouldn't be everything.
Yeah. Yeah, like if you had an agency that only aimed for Cannes Lion winning work, what would that do for the brands? Like if you're all in on this one way of thinking, what would happen?
Well, we're watching it.
Oh yeah.
I want the creative that we love in the industry to be the creative that people love outside the industry. And if we don't get those two things closer together, I was telling somebody, I said, are we creating flies or fairies? And they were like, what do you mean? I was like, flies are like the thing that you're like, get away from me. And fairies are like, what the hell is that? Oh, I want to go follow that into the little woods.
This is like why rats and gerbils? Why are gerbils like this cute little furry animal, but a rat is like
Well, when I first moved to New York City, I was like killing mice as my cousins were buying mice, and I was like, I'm so confused.
But to the point though, like the perspective does matter.
point?
I don't know. I always say that. You tell me if this is a correct way to communicate with people, but
Okay, let's go.
I just start with that to like make sure I have people's attention, and then I try to think I'll find it
That's
along
good.
the way.
Okay, all right, let's find it.
Okay, so the perspective matters.
Okay.
Like a rat versus a gerbil. Winning awards can be great, but it can also, if you're doing it for the wrong intentions, it can also be maybe not so great for the industry. But there's
Yeah.
like the tension that like, clients want to win awards. Clients want to hire agencies that win awards.
Yeah.
So there's this weird tension that
But
inherently
we
exists.
at FCB we won awards, but we won them because we set ourselves up for this thing called the 4-5-6. It's like, let's do provocative work that allows people to co-create with us. So the work needs people to participate sometimes, and not just with their emotions or visuals or whatever. And let's try to do never finished platforms, which means let's keep this idea going as long as we can. That should be what we try to do in this business. That's how you build memory structure, brand assets that have value. You leave something for the next generation and they get to play with it and reimagine it and do things with it. My favorite thing is creating brand assets, thinking about the brand assets you have to work with over the period of time the business and the brand have been in business and building brands, or either creating those so that you're leaving something for the next generation. And looking back at my career, and I'm going to say this tomorrow on stage, is that make sure you make something that lasts. Because otherwise I'm 40 years in, and if I look back and said, I don't see, and look, 90% of what I've been a part of doesn't exist anymore, but there's a rarefied 10% that does, and I don't think it's going anywhere but to the next generation. And
So interesting.
try to do that.
How do you even start that process for somebody that might be like 22, just graduating college, looking to get their first job? They land it, they're a copywriter, art director. Like, how do you even get to that platform thinking?
Well, I think it's a different kind of creative. Like I always say, what do I have to create? And then I go, what could it become? So like I was working on a little project with, I'm not sure I'm allowed to talk about this, but little project where I just had to create an ad for a small business in my community. So I did that. I wrote the script. And then all of a sudden now I'm like, okay, now we got to think about, could this be a TED Talk, but not a TED Talk, but could it be a new way of thinking about small farming and blah, blah, blah. And now I have a 10-year vision of what this film could become.
Yeah.
So I think I'm wired that way, which has been weird in this business because it kills me when work dies, because it's not just an ad that died. It's an entire vision of what that ad could have started.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it takes it takes a level of discipline almost to be thinking.
Well, y'all are doing it, aren't you? I mean, think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Think about it. I mean, I was back there going, okay, what could this become? How far can this go? What would it be? So call me.
Yeah, please. Susan, gladly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm already envisioning your future, and it looks really good.
Thank you. That means a lot. So
Did you see bleached hair, mustaches in there? Future.
Bleached hair, mustaches?
Me.
Yeah.
All together, the whole thing?
Look at my
bleached.
hair. I bleach my hair.
So you're doing it on top and you're doing it in the middle?
I can't grow facial hair.
So I can just shave
Well,
this
the
off.
older you get as a woman, it turns out you might be able to. I don't know. I've heard it's coming.
Oh gosh. Well, you're giving the big speech tomorrow night. You kind of did a little teaser right there, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Do you need anybody like to help, like bodyguards? Do you need anything? Like we can get you rosé tomorrow night beforehand. We are happy to help out.
Well, if you can get in, listen, I'll take all the TLC I can get.
Of course. I've always wanted.
I need an outfit. Can you manage that?
Oh God. I mean, look at this.
It was on my list. Buy something special for this award, and I was like,
You don't want us to.
no, milk and eggs. I think beat the dress. I bought something, but it
Fedora.
wasn't very. Yeah.
Fedora obviously is up there.
Yeah.
So when you think about like addressing the industry, essentially all these senior leaders, how do you want to make people feel? Because I remember we asked you about this when the news came that you were going to win this award, and you've had now time to think about it. So what is something that you want people to feel when they leave your talk?
That they're proud to be in the industry and they're privileged to be in the industry, and that I know we're doing it right now talking, but I think we're being really creative in our conversation. But I want the work, make things, and make things people will remember, make things that make people laugh, that make them cry, that make them think, that inform them. We are so honored as a whole industry to be able to speak to the public and matter. And I grew up loving advertising. I like the ads more than I buy magazines. I'm like, what's that? What is editorial? And they'd be like, that's all the words. And I was like, that's boring. Like, I thought it was like legal copy. I was like, I just want to see the ads.
You're like, I can smell this
Yeah,
page.
yeah, exactly.
This ad I can
So
smell.
I always love the ads more than the content because I thought the ads were great content. So let's I don't like that, like branded advertising or what is
Branded
it?
content.
Is that what they say?
They say, yeah, like, or branded entertainment.
Yeah, it's not. It's called entertainment.
Yeah.
And sometimes it has brands in it.
Right.
I mean, everything you do, you should try to make it interesting for people. Otherwise, you're just taking up space, and we don't have any space anymore.
No.
So
Yeah.
do less better.
Was there a client that sticks out to you that maybe leaned into the idea of like entertainment and really like helping push the
Yeah,
creativity
Paul
forward?
Michaels.
Okay.
He was the CMO at Mars. I think he was hired in 1995. He went on to become the CEO of Wrigley Mars.
Wow.
And if I had not had him as a client, I wouldn't be sitting here.
Interesting.
What did he do
Yeah.
for you?
He just was crazy.
He said yes, like love that.
No, but very intelligently. It
Mm.
wasn't just like, I don't know what I mean, he would push us. He loved creative. I mean, the first time I met him, he had this like just analog thing called an excitometer. And as you're presenting, he would be like dull, and then it would get excited, and then it would go back to dull, and then back excited, and you'd be presenting going, and then the so-and-so comes in, and he goes dull, and I'm like, kind of like his own human test.
Holy,
hilarious.
It was so much fun.
That is like the most what a learning experience, what a moment in education. It's
It
like
was
almost
terrifying and
terrifying.
fun. And then you just go, this guy is fun. And he wants to be great. I've been texting him this week just to tell him that, thanks. And yeah, he scared you because his ambitions were so huge. But you wanted, and I remember one time we would do this thing where we would shoot several spots at one time. And I would be like, I want to shoot this one. And he goes, well, I want to shoot that one. And I was like, yeah, but this one's better. And he goes, but I like this one better. And I was like, then we'll do both. And he goes, yeah, but you're making them, so you're going to make mine worse so that you win the argument.
Yeah.
Or do that.
That sounds like a pretty good idea.
But those were the conversations
Yeah.
we would have. Yeah.
It's a great conversation.
The excitometer.
Excited doll.
I'm gonna start
Were you
having
even
that.
excited
We're gonna
more?
have that on the live show stream,
Yeah,
like,
oh.
like the audience can control it,
Yeah,
and we'll be like, "Come on, we gotta find
Yeah.
something." But we talked with Anselmo Ramos a couple days ago,
Who?
founder of an agency called Gut. Yeah, if you've heard of him,
Yeah, that guy.
Anselmo, for the people back home. And he talked about they have a Brave meter, the Brave meter for clients, and he's like his goal. They work with AB and Bev and like getting them in that journey of getting them to be
Yeah.
more of a brave client.
Yeah.
Is there anything for you in your career that's helped with helping like guide clients through that bravery journey?
Well, first of all, I'm going to quote Nils Leonard, who said he was talking about bravery. I don't like that word at all.
Sure.
And his wife overheard him, and she goes, Nils, firemen are brave. You sell cheese. You're not brave. So that's how I feel. It's like,
Yeah.
that word even exists in our vocabulary. You can call it something else, but it ain't bravery.
Yeah, sure.
We could call it chicken. How to be less chicken.
Less chicken. Yeah,
Less
let's go with
chicken.
that. Let's go with that. Yeah. I almost don't even.
Good.
I grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
No.
Do you have any?
Who knew I was going to do farm animal impressions when I
Yeah.
walked in?
I feel like I do a
Can
pretty
you
good
do a
chicken.
pig?
Oink. Susan, that's
good.
that's a little bit too good.
Yeah. My
That's too
uncle
good.
taught me that when I was 5.
It just
You have to do it right here.
it starts at right. I don't even know if I have access to that level of my throat.
We've gone off the rails.
Yeah, we've absolutely gone.
We've taken a turn.
Susan, last thing, anything you want to leave with the audience, people, it's the advertising agency people of the world that are working their creative jobs. Is there anything you want to leave with them before we let you go?
I'll say what I'm going to say tomorrow night, which is make sure when you look back at your career, you've made something besides money. It will serve you much better mentally than the money. And have fun. This industry, like I went into this industry because it was crazy. And I mean, like what we did today. I think we had fun.
Yeah, we had a blast.
Versus we sit by going, well, I think with the future of AI, but whatever that is. Stop it. Let's have fun. Let's be creative. Let's be interesting. I was out with Jerry Graff last night, and I don't know if you saw what he did with Jones House.
Yeah, they did a little tent, right?
Yeah, he's like, well, we don't have the Collins house. We don't have the Adweek house. We don't have but we got Jones House. Get a tent down here and let's plop it in the middle of the thing. He ended up meeting so many people, like big I mean, he drummed up new business with a creative idea And the problem was we don't have money to do these kind of things, but we have money for a tent, and that's creative, and it, a problem turns into a creative idea.
And it's like, don't take yourself so seriously.
Exactly.
You just don't take yourself so seriously. Do something. If you think it's funny and creative, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
I feel
go
like.
do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go do it.
But have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun. And that's why I love you all
Thank
so
you.
much, because you make me feel like this is a fun business instead of like we're going to solve the next medical problem.
Yeah.
And by the way, my brother's a neurosurgeon, and I should not be doing what he does.
I am not smart. I am not smart, period. So yeah, I don't even know where I
So
would
don't
be.
even go there.
I won't even try.
Thank y'all. I know I'm over time.
No, thank you, Susan. I appreciate you so
take your
much.
Oh yeah. Wait,
take the mic.
undo.
Today's live show at Cannes is presented by Hightouch. If you work in marketing or advertising, you probably already know the problem. The internet never stops asking for more creative. Meta wants more ads, TikTok wants more ads. Every platform rewards fresh content, and the second your creative gets overexposed, performance starts to drop and costs start to climb. That's where Hightouch Ad Studio comes in. Their platform helps brands and agencies spot creative fatigue before campaigns start wasting money. Then it uses performance data, cultural trends, competitor activity, and brand assets to generate hundreds of new concepts that are actually on brand from the very first draft. This allows creative ad agencies to focus on the big stuff, while this product helps scale the lower funnel. It's not AI slop either. Hightouch connects directly to things like your brand guidelines, asset libraries, and approved copy, so marketers can create, edit, and launch new static and video ads without losing control of quality or compliance. And the coolest part is that agencies are already using it on behalf of their clients. If you've ever felt like you're on an endless treadmill of content production, Hightouch is building the tools to help marketers keep up without sacrificing creativity. Check them out at hightouch.com. You're not gonna regret it. Oh, here we go. Rich Silverstein, welcome to the show. Co-founder of Goodby Silverstein and Partners.
My God.
How you feeling? How's the week been?
You know what temperature it is? It's 100 degrees, and I'm sitting here having to do this. It's crazy.
Rich,
it's not
making
fair.
him do this?
Rich, you know, you should be so honored.
Love having you here.
I heard that I was going to be one of the last, and I'm going, oh, that's sweet.
We're sending off the show.
You were
with
the
We're
last
done.
interview. You're the last person that we're talking to of Cannes, of our entire.
If you
Cannes.
bring up AI, I'll kill you.
Well,
no,
it brings me to my first question,
Oh,
because we're
God.
considering
Oh, my
an AI clone of you that
Yes.
we would then license out. What do you think about that?
As long as I get a percentage.
Well, yeah,
And,
well,
and,
license.
then- and the AI will say it's not good enough. You got to do another one.
If there was an AI, if there was an AI of you,
Yeah.
could you predict like what?
Yeah, it wouldn't be very happy. It would say it has to do better. Like, isn't there a new AI, a better AI?
You know, we talked with some creatives that have worked with you in the past,
Oh,
and they
great.
said
Yes, what was the story?
there's the one story, like the
Oh.
one thing was that like there's a different story that you're talking about, but generally they said that as long as
Yeah.
you are more excited than Rich was about an idea, Rich would be okay with you doing that idea. So like if they said Rich would walk into a room and you're going through the creative ideation process,
yeah.
and they'd see you walk in,
Yeah.
and as long as you brought more energy,
Yeah.
you would be like, okay, good, yeah, we're good to go. Great,
I know,
love
it's
the
so
idea.
funny. I'm so impatient. It's just terrible. Oh, I have to tell you that my wife has to. She went to the same school you guys did.
Oh, really?
So she was watching you interview our students, and she said, "I went to that school,
Wait, what school?
the marketing school in Illinois."
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
Illinois.
yeah.
She went to the University of Illinois?
Yeah, yeah.
How'd you two meet?
She was an account exec at
Of
Hal
course.
Riney. That's how creatives meet.
Of course.
You meet an advertising person meets an advertising person, makes children. Although we didn't make any children. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Oh, yeah. How was that?
You had to go account route? Like that was, you couldn't be with
No,
another
my wife
creative?
was an account route, and she was taking. I don't know. Somehow she was impressed by me.
Of course. How could she not
Were
be?
you showing
You
her,
know how
like,
young
work
I
that you've
was.
done?
I was younger than you, and you. What are you
Dang,
like?
you really lucked
what
out.
are you? 21.
No, no.
So
We're slacking over here.
Yeah, I know. I got a
No,
late
I mean,
start.
but it was my first real marketing advertising job, and talk about a son of a gun. How it wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough,
Mhm.
and I learned from that.
Yeah.
I mean, and also my own personal angst of the person I'm hardest on is myself.
Yeah.
So I just did this presentation at Cannes, finally it's over. And I take so much I put so much into it, and I expect the creatives to do the same for them. If you don't care, you're not going to get great work.
Well, it's interesting because like if you're hearing this, you're probably thinking like, oh my God, Rich must be tough to work for. But it's crazy
No.
how many people, that everyone, it feels like unanimously, that comes out of Goodby Silverstein Partners has nothing but amazing things to say about the experience. Which, like, I know it's a glaze, but like I feel like people go out of their way to mention that, even though you self-admittedly are a harsh critic.
Yeah, but it's honest, 100% honest. Who are we fooling? Ourselves? So when you see an edit and something feels wrong, you just, in your gut, you go, that's got to be fixed. And so you say it. And I do say it with a little bit of energy. and then because I care. I care. And I think people who work with me well appreciate that. Yeah, I do. They respect it. And just down at the Can, how many people have come up and have worked in the company, and we fathered and mothered, not in that way. We just that we've taught people.
You've raised so many creatives out there.
You've launched so many creative agencies too.
I know it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Do you have a favorite one that has launched below you guys?
There's no favorites. Just
right.
Individual people are favorites. When they become a company, they're competition.
You see them on the street.
What I haven't said is, I'm an athlete. I mean, in the athlete sense of I want to win. This is a sport, and I don't want to draw. I want to win.
Right.
So when you go into a pitch, you go in the pitch to win.
I love that.
How is it? What's your?
I was going to ask, what did you speak on today?
I made a musical.
Oh, right.
13 Days of Musical, which you guys kind of talked about, which is the most dangerous moment in human history, and think about today. So we were gonna go to war with Russia over Cuba, and what's changed? Nothing, except that we had a little bit more intelligence in the White House.
So the musical.
More. Yeah,
so
the musical.
Yeah, so the musical you made, and so it was talking about, what was like just talking about the process of it, creating it.
Well, the musical is a punk, because what do I know about a musical? So first I started with 90 images with the phrases of the songs, and I framed them, and they're gorgeous. And then an account exec came to me and said, well, what are you doing all this? And I said, well, I'm making a musical. I said, but I don't know how to make a musical. And so he sent my ideas to a creative director, A.J. Warren in New York, and he put forth through AI, and magic happened. And so it is not about AI, but it was used as a tool along with 4 other songs. So I'm on my way to make a musical.
What are you? Right. Are those the kind of projects that get you excited? Just like
totally.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things Jeff and I have always been is love the news. I mean, we followed O.J. Simpson to the end. We love. Well, okay.
What do you think about that?
We love stories. Well, that didn't turn out so well. No. What do I think about it? Dramas. Real life is a soap opera. And if you can capture that, and I actually think in advertising, telling the truth about a product is what people want. They might not know it, but making things up is a waste of time.
Yeah.
Take the truth and play with it.
How are things going? How are things going back at Goodby Silverstein Partners? How's Jeff? How's the team? How's everyone at the agency?
I think they're kicking it. They're kicking it out of New York. They're really doing a good job. And Sarah, who's come in as the CEO, and Margaret Johnson are great. Amon, creative director of New York, fantastic. And now we need to grow. If we had all this energy in LA, San Francisco, we've brought it to New York. I think we've got to build New York up. We may talk about it. We got to build up San Francisco. Darn it.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good time, transition time, new office there. Like,
well, you think of Wyden and Kennedy, it was all Portland. Then it became New York.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think there's a time, and I think we just got to get it back.
Right.
You'll get it.
Well, it's
what are you going to do to make that happen? You specifically.
Beat people up.
That's right. Threaten them.
That's what I do, apparently.
Oh, what was the other one?
The Jerry Graff.
Oh, I love Jerry Graff
story. Jerry told us on live stream.
Oh my God.
About how he
Oh my God.
he had an idea. I forget which idea it was, but it won a Cannes Lion. And
Oh, yeah.
at no point did you ever admit that it was actually funny. From you, like the idea, it came to you.
Yeah,
it
he
came
was
to you,
like,
and you were like, it's not that funny, but you can pitch it to the client, and the client bought it. And then Jerry came back again and was like, you know, it's going up for Cannes, and you're like, it's still not funny.
It doesn't
And
mean it's funny.
It doesn't mean it's funny.
There's one spot that we did for E-Trade where we have these characters in the garage and they were like singing to a cucaracha and it was wacko. And it says, we wasted $2 million. I loved it so much. And the original client wouldn't buy it. I said, Jerry, we're going to use our own money. We're producing it. But we didn't have to because Christo, who was the CEO, loved it. But you have to have commitment. You have to believe in it. You know, it's easy for me to say that now, but that was when $2 million for a Super Bowl. You pay $2 million for a piece for a talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's changed.
Oh
It's changed a lot. And but I mean, I feel like
What?
you get.
What do you guys think?
What do you got?
What do
This
you
is like
got?
this is like
been a
we had you
long
for the
day.
Super Bowl stream. We had
What do
you
you
for the
got?
Super Bowl
Best
stream.
can.
Yeah,
festival for
best
you.
can ever.
Oh, best can ever?
What year was that?
Oh, well, I believe that when we did E-Trade, it was pretty damn good. All-time best commercial was Apple 1984. They set the tone, and we went, oh my God. Lee Clow did that. It wasn't supposed to happen. The board didn't vote for it, and Jobs said we're running it, and that changed the entire concept of the Super Bowl.
Was Can here that year?
I don't know.
I would love to have been around where that.
I mean, that was everything. That
Really?
defined that a Super Bowl spot had to really cut through.
Did you at the moment though? At that time, did you realize how big of a moment it was?
Jealous.
You were pitching idea. You were probably
Yeah.
thinking like that, but you needed a client, a big brand like that, to actually put the dollars behind it and air it.
Totally, and I think 30 seconds was only the time, and they did a 60, and it was like, oh my God. It was like a movie
Yeah.
for the public on
Did you
TV.
piss you off? You're a competitor. You're like,
Totally.
yeah, I love that.
Totally.
That's what I love
love
about it,
that.
Richard. That's
That's what I
what's
love about
up.
Rich.
It's like you
So
don't.
I'm a cyclist, and someone passes me, I want to beat them. It's crazy.
What did you make as a result? Result from that, the anger, the angst right after.
Well,
that?
we did a couple of really good Super Bowl spots, and I was with Brian Buckley on a boat just now, and Brian has done 100 Super Bowl spots.
Oh my God.
And
Who is he?
Brian Buckley, and he did our really nice BMW spots with Arnold, and he's really good with he's with clients, but with talent. And how do you tell a good story in 60 seconds? And there has to be an arc. There has to be nothing left on the table.
It has to be perfect.
It has
Yeah.
to be perfect. And what in this world is perfect in 60 seconds? It's really an art. Now I think we've gotten away from it a little bit, but I don't want to sound old.
No, you
No,
don't.
no.
You don't. Gino, I
have
feel like
something here.
he's got something very exciting. I
What do
feel
you
like.
got?
Yesterday we had our CMO day. Mark Kirkham, CMO of beverages at PepsiCo
Yes.
for the U.S.
Yes.
I asked him what was the most memorable idea pitched to you. And do
Yes.
you know what he said?
No.
Of his whole career,
Yeah.
he said Mountain Dew Seal is Seal.
Come on.
Of his whole career.
Oh, that's
and that was done
amazing.
by, you guessed it,
Yeah.
Goodby Silverstein.
Yeah, 2 years ago. I can't believe it got produced.
Yeah.
What did you say when you saw that idea internally? Like,
It'll never happen. They'll never do it.
you're like, go ahead either way.
mean-
You're like,
I mean, you don't just present one idea. You present 5.
Yeah.
And you have a favorite, and
you got a wild card in there.
and then okay, here's the worst part. They say yes to it. Well, it better be good then. You know.
Yeah, you
There's
gotta
no-
do it.
Yeah, you got to do it great. You got to do it, and
Yeah, I want to pull up, Gino, the person. There's someone at Goodby that actually had to sing, that sang the seal part, and it is right now.
Susan.
It was Jen Hart, creative director at Goodby
Hart is
Silverstein Partners.
so good.
Shout out to Jen. She
Oh, my
sang
God.
It. She sang it. She sang the seal part to help pitch it in. But you said it wouldn't get made.
Yeah.
No.
Dude, people
You said
did
it
tell
wouldn't-
you, like, told you so.
What do
all
I
the
know?
time.
Yeah, dude.
What do I know?
Did they come back and they're like, take that, Rich?
And you would want that.
Yeah, wouldn't you?
I don't know if you would want that, actually.
I don't know. I think people talk behind my back.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I just go to work, and then I hear these stories that I said something, and I go, I did? I don't know.
Oh, it's
I
that
am
day.
100.
You can't be liable for
I am
what you said.
100% myself, as Meredith knows,
I agree.
and gets me in trouble. But it's honest. It's honest. I'm not bullshitting you.
Well, that's why. Well, that's why we
That's
had
the
you on
best.
for our Super Bowl live stream.
Yeah.
And
What
and we
happened?
still say it all the time. Where you Rich, you do this thing where you're like, you say something that's super insightful and interesting, and then you just end it with like blah blah blah. Like nobody cares.
I know.
but
I
people
do.
care.
It's so funny. Blah blah blah.
Is that what you have to say? How do we send off this whole live
Yeah.
stream? We're just doing it for 3 days.
Here's
Most
the thing.
important people.
Well, advertising isn't your life. It's not going to change the world, but it's very important to do a really good job and to use every experience you have and treat it with respect and intelligence. Well written, beautifully art directed, has an arc to it, and people. Okay, most important, it doesn't wear out. We just talked about 1984. I could see it tomorrow.
Right.
I could see Seal tomorrow. I could see money coming out of the wazoo, E-Trade, Jerry Graff, tomorrow. Timelessness. A good story can be told 100 years from now.
I love it.
And we're going to end with that.
That's Rich Silverstein. That has been our Can Live show. Rich, thank you so much
you,
for
sir.
joining the